podcast is powered by monkeyknifefight.com.
Woo! We had the Heart2Start on this one.
Eureka.
Hey!
We make plays every day.
Every day.
Yeah, we make plays every day. We make plays every day.
You gotta have heart in these streets.
Make plays every day.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
We make plays every day. Yeah, we make plays every day.
Every day, give me my
We
name.
make plays every day. We make plays every day.
Hey, welcome to the Real Fantasy Playmakers. I am your host, Bogart Scott-Free. And man, I feel like every episode is a special episode, but this one right here, very special episode, Playmakers, making his solo debut on the Real Fantasy Playmakers, representing the Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast. It's the fella, Guchinni JD. What's happening, my brother?
What's happening, big bro? You know you got it, man.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's a pleasure, you know what I mean, have you back. You know what I'm saying? We you know what I mean, fellow Niner gang, you know what I mean?
Man, in the building.
Yeah, and you know, speaking of that, Playmakers, check out the last episode 133 featuring Justin from Clock Management. We kind of did a little 49er outlook, since we're probably going to be witnessing an overhaul here with our Niners, you know what I mean? And but yeah, great, hell of an episode. Check that out. That's available on Spotify as well. And on this one, what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna break down Championship Sunday. You know what I mean? The schedule and the slate is set. We got the battle of the elder statesmen. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers heading on over to Lambeau. You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna be sub 20 degrees. Snow, you know what I mean, versus the gigantic eyeballs himself, Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? It's GOAT versus GOAT. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And that one's gonna be dope. And then on the other side in the AFC, we got the battle of the youngsters. You know what I'm saying? The under 25 club. You know what I mean? We got Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Versus Josh Allen, the Stallion. You know what I mean? And we're gonna go ahead and break this thing down from everything from unders, overs, the spreads. You know what I mean? Maybe we'll touch on some little bit of fantasy implications, because you know we are in a playoff league as well. You know what I'm saying? I see you over there, Guchinni. You know what I'm saying? Right there at the top. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Fighting
a little bit.
Yeah, he's fighting for that number one. He's right there. You know what I mean? And but Playmakers, before we get to all that, we're gonna go ahead, handle this quick old housekeeping. Go ahead and follow me at the GMM Network on both IG and Twitter. Subscribe to the GMM Network on YouTube if you listen to this on Spotify. And if you listen to this on YouTube, go ahead and spike that like, drop a comment, all that good shit. You know what I'm saying? Be sure to share. You know what I mean? Sharing is caring. Also, subscribe to the Run Boys Fantasy Network. That's where you're going to see, you know what I'm saying, Bogart Scott-Free as well. You know what I mean? Shout out to the whole gang. Shout out to Robbie, Miles, you know what I'm saying, Clock, you know what I mean, and the rest of the gang. You know what I'm saying? And also check us out on runboys.com. It's where you're going to find all our latest and greatest articles from all our innovative sports journalists. You know what I'm saying? That's where you're also going to find all our merch. You know what I mean? Go ahead and check out the apparel. You know what I'm saying? Use promo code RUNBOYS, get you free shipping. Also, shout out to our sponsor, Milk and Honey TX, for all your CBD wellness and all your CBD goodness. Visit milkandhoneytx.com. And also, Playmakers, last but not least, you heard at the beginning of this podcast, this joint is powered by monkeyknifefight.com. Head on over to Monkey Knife Fight. Download the MKF app. Use promo code GMM. We'll get your first deposit matched up all the way to $50. Get in on this legal, legit daily fantasy sports prop action. Guchinni JD, let them know where to find you, my brother.
Man, first off, shout out to you for fucking with us and having all three of us on individually and collectively, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
and shout out to the Playmakers for tapping in, you know what I mean? Top, man. And shout out to my dog White Chocolate, man. I definitely got to tap into that motherfucking 49er breakdown tomorrow while I'm at work to see what y'all was talking about, because like you said, it's a fucking overhaul. Our salary cap ain't looking good. We losing defensive coordinators. We lost our quarterback coach, or our offensive coordinator, LaFleur, as a package, you know what I mean, to the Jets, you know, and then I think we just lost somebody else in the front office. I think I seen come across my timeline earlier today. So man, I can't wait to check out to see what y'all talking about over there, and just to break down the whole Niner situation. Is Jimmy staying? Is he going? Or is Deshaun coming in? Or what's the option at quarterback? You know what I mean? Just all types of shit. You know what I mean? So off top, shout out to White Chocolate. Shout out to you, Bogey, for that 49er breakdown, man. And then you can find me, man, at Guchinni _JD, GUCHINNI _JD. And then on Instagram, my Twitter is jhook _916. And then you can also find me, my cousin Kev, and the other guy /Kurt, at the fucking Heart2Start podcast page on IG. And then we also got a Twitter, man, you know what I mean? And then we also have our own individually pages, you know what I mean? So that's where y'all... Oh, and then we got the YouTube popping off.
Yeah,
you know
I was about to say.
So you can fuck with us on YouTube, on everything, bro.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Playmakers, I encourage y'all to subscribe to the Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? They be going live as well. You know what I mean? Also, man, shout out to the other guy and shout out to Heart2Start Kev. You know what I mean? And also shout out to the other guys. You know what I mean? That's rocking with Kev.
Good looking, bro. Fucking my dog Woodrow, he's unofficially a Heart2Start member for sure, man. He just don't. I don't know why he don't like to come on camera during football season, but since basketball season it popped off, he ain't missed no episode yet on everything. So shout out to Woodrow, and then shout out to my dog Art Von, aka A-Wax, man. Them is Kev's homeboys that he done grew up with, man, and they dropping every Sunday for the fucking basketball. So all you playmakers that love, fantasy hoop or just like hoop in general, man, tap into our YouTube channel, man. They dropping content every Sunday about basketball, bruh. 100%.
Yeah, playmakers, you know what I'm saying? If y'all out there that got a hunger for the hoops isms, that's where you're gonna find it. Shout out to Kev and shout out to the other guys as well. You know what I mean? But yeah, so man, let's get right to it, man. It's Championship Sunday. First of all, it was it's incredible in itself that we got this far, considering the fact that we didn't think we were gonna have a season for real.
Man, I agree.
You know what I mean?
Coming into motherfucking May. Well, after the draft and then going into May and June, it seemed kind of obsolete that we would even have a football. Yeah. But once shit started picking up, it started picking up like a snowball. And here we are now, damn near 2 weeks away from Super Bowl Sunday. Right?
Like, this is some shit. Because, like, I remember when they announced that it was going to be Tampa Bay, that was a while ago, right? Tampa Bay hosting the Super Bowl. That was a while ago. Yep. And then, shout out to Jemo the Icon. He works in the hotel industry. And he gave me some information in the summertime where the NFL had all the hotels that they booked up for Super Bowl week. You know what I mean? They had also booked them up for like an entire month after the original dates they booked. So just in case the season was to be prolonged, they were covering their asses from the beginning. So I kind of felt like, all right, even though the season seems to be in danger, they're willing to push this thing back and still go through with it. You know what I mean?
Off top.
Yeah, so, the fact that we started on time, that was dope. You know what I mean? Because I remember...
Not only starting on time, though, big bro, even though we had, for the first time ever, we had a game every day of the week in NFL history, but there wasn't no games canceled.
Right?
Every game got played. Every game for 16 weeks, including the bye week, every team played their game. It might not have been on time. We had week 4 where Buffalo and Tennessee got pushed back. Even I think Pittsburgh was up in there where, they wasn't practicing or playing for like a week and a half, 2 weeks. But every fucking game got played during a pandemic.
And then
that fucking says something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But then we can't forget the Baltimore-Dallas game that they pushed that thing all the way back off of Thanksgiving.
I think that was at Thanksgiving or right before Thanksgiving or some shit.
It was supposed to be the final Thanksgiving game, to top off Thanksgiving, and they pushed that thing back. And what's kind of funny is there was a shitload of teams that got hit with COVID, but they weren't like sweating, pushing their games back unless they were teams like the Steelers or the Titans or the Ravens. Like, look at the Niners, we all got COVID. We got COVID, bro, on that before that Thursday night game against Green Bay. And they were like, you know what? You know, matter of fact, they even tested negative. It was a false positive. And now they're like, you know what? Still the Niners. You know what? We don't need to push this game back. Just let them play with all their backups.
Or
you know
what
I mean?
about the Denver? I think it was the Denver Saints game, bro. And they played with a wide receiver and fucking quarterback,
I
bro.
forgot about that, bro. You know what's funny about that one? They're playing the Saints. They're like, you know what? We like the Saints. The NFL, it's an NFL royalty basically with Drew Brees. Go ahead and give them the same schedule, the same date. But the Broncos are just gonna have to play a practice wide receiver, former quarterback, from college. You know what I mean? Like, and bro, like, I think he had like 7 pass attempts. It was just ugly. You know what I mean? Like,
it was ugly, bro. And the cold thing is that motherfucking game, bro. That if any game deserved to be pushed back, that should have been one of the main games right there. How you not gonna play with not no motherfucking quarterback, bro? Come on, man.
Hey, the first snap of the game. I mean, obviously we're fantasy analysts, right? So like, there was a point in time in that week when motherfuckers raced to grab Royce Freeman because they had came out and said Royce Freeman might be the emergency quarterback, right? And then I was foolish that week. I remember picking up Hinton, and I think it was
that's the wide receiver that played quarterback.
Yeah, whatever his first name was, but it's Hinton.
Right.
I remember it because I made a joke after, like, we should have got the hint. You know what I mean? That he wasn't a good player. Because I picked him up and threw him in every wide receiver slot that I could. Because he was like, I'm throwing a QB in my wide receiver spot, bro. He did nothing. You know what I mean?
Real talk.
And like, this year, so before we finally get to these games, right? I do want to say this year was important because I feel like there's gonna be a divide between players, right? Going into next season, they're gonna be like, okay, we got this vaccine, y'all. You know what I mean? And there's gonna be players that are gonna be like, listen, you can't force me to take this vaccine, right? What if there's teams that mandate it? You know what I mean? Because every team kind of handles their own organization a certain way, as far as like, or maybe the NFLPA votes for it. But like, it was just a majority that voted, and there's still gonna be those people that are like, I don't want to take that shit. Like, I feel like this year was important for us to know how to handle these COVID cases. You know what I mean? Like, maybe if you got vaccinated, maybe you'll be exempt as far as like, the close quarter contact shit. Because remember, it'd be like, yo, if you were in the room with the dude, you know what I mean? Like,
you got to sit sit down for 14 days or 10 days, whatever it was, like, shit like that.
Like, so it's gonna be interesting, you know what I mean?
It's definitely. I agree with you on that one, big bro. And then I seen something about Adam Silver, the commissioner of the NBA, talking about about getting teams or players with the fucking vaccination. You know what I mean? And then just on a deeper level, some motherfuckers' religions don't allow them to get vaccinated.
Yeah, the
shit
Muslims.
Like that, you know what I mean?
The Muslims don't do that.
It's crazy, big bro.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be because now it's gonna become. I mean, obviously, invasion of privacy is non-existent when it comes to players, because some shit that is private, like if a regular civilian goes to the doctor, there's doctor-patient confidentiality. It's not like that when you're in any kind of major league sport, because Vegas needs to be as accurate on the spread, so all that information is disclosed. You know what I mean?
100%. And then the code thing, just to take it another deeper level though, with the COVID for the whole 2020 and a lot of states not being able to be, financially stable. Yeah. I bet you we see a lot of states opening up their legal gambleization laws in order to get some revenue. A lot of states that's not 420 friendly, they're going to allow they're going to push that on the ballots to try and get some of this revenue that they've been slacking on because they've been dinosaurs on gambling. They've been dinosaurs on the 420. So with you saying that, we're going to have to get a little bit more in depth on what's going on with these players and all that on Vegas standards. I think that a lot of these states, just like in Canada, the weed is legal. I don't know what their gambling rules is, but
you can
a lot of these states in the 50 states that we here in, they're going to have to push that legal gambling and that motherfucking weed to be able to catch up so they can have some revenue from all this revenue that was lost during the COVID year.
As far as my knowledge goes, Canada fucks with it all. Like, you know what I mean? Because a lot of fantasy analysts that I fuck with, you know, that actually the first ones that I ever came across, like when I really got into fantasy was my second year I played. That was 2014. You know what I mean? And I started really like I already fucked with podcasts. I'm like, there's got to be fantasy podcasts out here, and there was a ton of them. And like a lot of ones that I gravitated towards initially was some Canadian cats, and they work for DraftKings, for FanDuel.
Oh, wow.
So Canada's with the shit. You know what I mean? And a lot of these laws that were put in place, to be honest, bro, it all goes back to the mafia. You know what I mean?
100%. I agree with that.
The mob, they always ran their own numbers games, and like it would be like, listen, let that thing be illegal. Because
the mob got a hold of all the lobbyists. The lobbyists is the middlemen that go to all the politicians and be like, look, this motherfucker Al Capone done dropped $250K on your motherfucking campaign, so we need you to push this, woo, woo, woo. You know what I mean? And Al Capone was 1920s and shit like that, and here we is in 2021, and that shit is still going on, big bruh. So I agree.
Yeah, I mean, it's it is funny that because of the COVID, the Corona climate, it really made motherfuckers realize, like, okay, we don't want to lose money like this. You know what I mean? Because they was losing money from like regular shit, like regular shit they was used to, like packing stadiums full of fans. You know what
100%.
I mean? Not only that, the concessions, the merch, the passes, the parking passes. You know what I mean? Like them
shit right in your own backyard, big bro, where motherfucking the big Levi is.
They shut that bitch
down. For the
down.
last 3 weeks, even though we ain't had no fans all week in the big Levi and the big Gene, but for the last 3 weeks, it wasn't no games there. You know what I mean? So who's gonna clean up the people that work at the stadium, even though it wasn't no fans there, but the motherfuckers that work at the stadium, there was nothing there, bro.
Nothing. And like, normally when if you own a stadium, it belongs to the Niners, but you're also slinging that thing to Beyonce's concerts,
Facts.
to motherfucking
the On the Run concert when Jay-Z and Beyonce came with that motherfucking first
exactly.
open.
You know what I mean? Motherfucking hockey, outdoor hockey games. They had some Sharks games there. You know what I mean? Like, just there's all kind of ways to make revenue, but now there was none. You know what I mean? Like, it was zero. So,
we got to recruit that. We got to recuperate that, man. That's just like one of your young rallies. They done fucked off that pack.
They fucked out that
so
pack.
We gonna have to find some way for you to make this up.
We're gonna have to stretch this next one. You know what I mean? We're gonna have to. We might have to do a couple of dance moves on it. A couple more steps.
Right, something.
You know what I mean?
Oh, everything.
And you know what else is crazy is because of the corona directly affecting the revenue, we're gonna see the cap perhaps take a dip, but also on top of that, they were like, this is what the league wanted for the longest time, was to add that 17th game, and it's official. We're gonna have a 17-week season, so I'm prepared to have a 14-week regular fantasy football season. I'm excited for that. You know what I mean? And then,
just in the my bad to cut you off, but just as analysts and what we doing, and for the love not only of football, for fantasy football, we always want more time to play this shit though, bro. It gives us more content and all types of shit. Just all the way around.
I mean, look at us right now. We're playing in the playoff league. You feel
me? And this is my first time playing in the playoff league, man. That shit fire as fuck.
And you know what's funny is everybody that gets down, they usually return to the next year. And like this year, we had a bunch of the people that normally rock with us, but I was like, we're gonna keep this like an analyst thing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted this to be part of the repertoire. Like, I know next year you would be down again. Like, yeah, let's rock. You know what I mean?
You motherfucking right.
You know what I'm saying? And so check this out. Like, because of the corona shit, you know what I mean, losing money, they go ahead and add the week 17, and they getting like $1 billion in revenue, adding just 1 week of football, supposedly.
I believe that. You know what I mean? Them motherfucking the ESPNs, the NBCs, the CBSs, the Foxes. Mm-hmm. Do you know how much money they spend just to get televised games?
Yeah.
So if they got a chance to get one more game, how much they gonna give the NFL to broadcast them games, big bro? Oh my mama.
Real talk, bro. Like it's and that's like that's really what's gonna save a lot of them because especially in a year like this, too, one thing I did notice, too, is that ratings didn't really shoot through the roof like you would expect because it's like, all right, nobody's going to the games. You know what I mean? Because maybe television ratings, because there's other ways to consume football. You know what I mean? Like streaming platforms.
Streaming this shit.
Yeah, but, I feel like, the NFL, as fucked up as Corona threatened it, its existence, it also kind of helped them because, it's, get this extra week that the owners always wanted. Because, the players are the ones that vote against that shit. They don't want that shit. You know what I mean?
But the cool thing is with that, though, with us getting an extra regular season game, I want to say in July or August, it might have been June, but somewhere in the summertime is where they voted on getting that extra playoff team in, too, though.
Yeah.
This is our first time having 7 teams on both sides get into the playoffs. So that transition right there from the 7 teams going into the playoffs to us getting that week 17 was already predestined by the owners. The owners wanted this shit already 100% because that's money in their pocket. But the only thing is just with the players is that, I don't know how their contracts are stipulated and whatnot. It's just, I know in playoff games you get extra money, but just on the regular season games, your contract is for 16 games. And, these contracts is already fucking
that's true.
In stone right now. So that's the only thing about that 17th game. Hopefully that the players get compensated for that 17th game.
You know what it's finna be, right? What it's finna be is it's just going to get prorated. They're just going to add one more game and divide it by the 17 instead. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? And then, obviously, the NFL did a lot of things like creating a short-term IR. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they did a lot of things because, COVID directly, implicated a lot of these rule changes that on the fly, like things that would normally go through process and take forever. It was just like, all right, well, if you go out for dinner now, you're on the COVID list. Like, they literally came to a point where it's like, if you just left and, you were exposed to anybody else, you went to, you had to always disclose where you're going. Oh, I'm going to go to dinner with my wife. Okay. Oh, you went to a restaurant. Boom, he's on the list. You know what I mean? And then, if there wasn't 5 days, left before you play on Sunday, because you need 5 clean tests. You know what I mean? They'd be like, oh, you're not going to play this game. They
sit your ass down.
Yeah, because it came to a point where it was like, all right, once they got close to the playoffs, they didn't want none of this shit fucking around. Even look at the Browns. The Browns was a winning team going up against the Jets. Saturday, all their receivers test positive. So they're like, you know what? But you're still the Browns. You got to roll out there.
You got to roll out there.
And it was week 16.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you know what? You know what I'm saying? Hell of a year. We got into the playoffs. I think this was because of the 7th seed, the addition of the 7th seed. It was one of the greatest, one of the greatest races to the playoffs. It came down to week 17 for real.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's great. That's great football to me. You know what I mean? And
hell, without a doubt. And not my bad for cutting you off.
Okay.
I just want to shout out to the whole all the players under the NFL shield for making this shit happen, though, bro. Even the ones that opted out, and I know family first, and that's why they opted out. Shout out to them too for putting their family first, but also shout out to all the players that suited up for 16 weeks. You know what I mean? And the ones that made it to the playoffs for giving us something to watch, some content for us that do what we do in this profession, in this motherfucking industry, to give it to y'all, on everything. So shout out to the whole players in general, and then everybody else that make that shit happen, bro. Without a doubt, if it wasn't for y'all, we wouldn't be here right now doing what we doing.
You feel
on
me?
Everything. 100%.
And like, I mean, like COVID, it really does put things in perspective. Like you said, man, shout out to all the players that did opt out, and because they gave them an option. So respect to the NFL for that matter too, because they on the fly they had to create that too. Like, all right, we're gonna set a date. You know what I mean? August, whatever the fuck it was, right? Or July, whatever it was. They're like, we're gonna set a date. By this date, if y'all want to play, you let us know, because this is the date where you can opt out. And then you get, I think you got like a X amount of, percentage of your salary. They're like, okay, you know what I mean? So a lot of them, and then there was players, and it felt like, the good teams were unaffected. You know what I mean? Then it also it gave opportunity for some of these younger bucks, because there was star quality caliber guys that opted out. But there was the countless amount of nobodies that were the second and third string guys that were like, all right, I'm just not gonna play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, shout out to Marquise Goodwin. You know what I mean? He got traded to the Eagles,
traded to Philly,
and then he was just like, I'm opting out. You know what I mean? I got young kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, fuck that. You know what I mean? And maybe if he didn't do that, maybe we don't see a fucking what was Buddy?
Not Ward. I can't even
not
think.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Ward over there in Philly, and it was another receiver.
Fulgham, bro.
Fulgham. Fucking Fulgham.
He got
Shout out to Travis Fulgham.
For real, right? Big up to Travis Fulgham, bro, because he, you know what I mean? He was a direct correlation of the COVID opt-outs. You know what I mean?
100%.
You know what I mean? There's, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other names out there like that. You know what I'm saying?
And Fulgham made his motherfucking. I think his start of his run was against the Niners, though, bro.
Yeah. He killed us. He killed us, bro.
Everything.
Hey, and you know what, too? I got another one for you. Bruh, this guy made a big impact. And he benefited from COVID like shit, because both the two guys, it was an injury to the starter, and then COVID to the next guy, and then here comes James Robinson, bruh.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. And James Robinson carried a lot of people this year, bro.
For real, bro.
I swear to you. And that motherfucker, excuse my bad, James.
That's all good,
he went undrafted, or was able to get picked up off the wire in, the first couple weeks of the season, bruh.
Yeah.
And he carried a lot of people, bruh.
Yeah, he was one of the only guys, bruh. We all remember when it was David Johnson, Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley getting 86% of the snap count and the touches. Then you brought in then CMC was a guy like that. Barkley, Zeke, Dalvin Cook, That was last year, and then or not last year, 2 years ago, and then last year, you had your Nick Chubbs, your Dalvin Cooks, who else? Just Zeke, just these load carry. What do they call them? Bell cows.
Bell cows. Yeah.
James Robinson was a bell cow.
He was a bell cow, bro.
Yeah, he was
100%
catching
agree
balls.
with that, man.
Yeah,
my mama.
And I like that. The last thing before we finally get to these two games, because it's kind of cool that we got to shoot the shit actually, because we really only got 2 games to break down. You know what I mean? But
right.
But bro, I'm excited for James Robinson. I hope recency bias is a motherfucker, and a lot of people that were aware of James Robinson that had him, they could finish the year disappointed with him. because he kind,
he kind of dudded off towards the end.
Yeah, but it was because of the massive workload. Like, still, hats off to him being a rookie coming out of college. And I don't even know what his load was like in college. I don't even, and if he was an every week starter, 10 games? So you go to the NFL playing 16 games with these monsters. You know what I mean?
25 to 30 touches a game.
Yeah.
And you average that out over 16 games. That might be 300 plus touches. And it ain't too many motherfuckers that can touch the ball 300 plus times in a season.
Like, I hope the hype on him doesn't go crazy, because if he's like a 4th round value, I love that. You know what I mean? Like,
I agree.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because I still wouldn't be comfortable with him being like my RB2. Like, if he's like my 3rd running back, bro, I'm in the building. You know what I mean?
And especially like me, I'm
running back heavy.
RB heavy. I'm RB heavy. You know what I mean? So if he's my 3rd running back, you damn right.
You know what's crazy, bro? I've always been RB heavy as well, and this year was the year. You know what I mean? Like, I was mad at myself in the SBI for going running back then Julio Jones when I could have had like DeAndre Hopkins or, you know what I mean? Like, or even just another running back there, because I went running back, receiver, running back. You know what I mean? What was fucked up is, in a lot of the teams that I did well, I went running back. Later on, got like Diggs or Allen, or even Diggs and Allen, or Tyler Boyd. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like,
that's a hell of a lineup, though.
They hit this year. Like, those mid-round receivers, they hit. You know what I mean? And
they hit, bro.
And we're gonna have a ton of fun this entire offseason. You know what I mean? Diagnosing, all
the strategies and whatnot, and the numbers and then the projections of how we seeing players get drafted in 2021. For sure. I definitely agree with that, big bro. And I think we should have some type of content of, us breaking down these players and, just collaborating on how, our just even in mock drafts. I don't think, shit like that, bro,
Oh, yeah.
Starting early, though.
Yeah, I mean, and, like, what's crazy is, like, I always had this rule, right? Like, I'll wait to mock till after the draft. Because then it's on. Then it's on.
Damn right.
You know what I mean? Because then,
hell yeah.
It's funny. It's like, you see, because when you add an entire crop of rookies, like, that's my favorite, because those new rookies that come in nice and shiny, especially if they're in, like, good landing spots, those guys are the ones that overshadow the value of Keenan Allen and Diggs and, like, Tyler Boyd, Will Fuller, like, you know what I mean? Because motherfuckers are on, like those.
Perfect example was fucking Jonathan Taylor. Once Jonathan Taylor went to the Colts, that elevated his motherfucking fantasy draft status. Third round.
Even knowing that Marlon Mack, like, was still there. Like, granted, Marlon Mack went down week 1. And it was like, all right, we're here now. You know what I mean? Everybody.
And in 2019, Marlon Mack had a hell of a season.
Yeah, wow.
Coming off 1,000-yard season and shit.
Didn't even play all 16. You know
Missed a couple games, right?
Yeah.
Facts.
And that just goes to show that line, like, you know what I mean? Like, man, okay, I got one more thing, man. I miss Andrew Luck, man, because I feel so bad for the guy. Like, He was getting beat up behind that bad line, and every year they would add another piece. And then when they finally topped it off with Quentin Nelson, he played 1 year and still managed to get hurt. And it was just like, I'm fucking done with this shit. You know what I mean? And then, like, someone like old ass Phillip Rivers is like, yo, I'll go there. Like, when he went there this year, I had them as a playoff team. You know what I mean? Just get somebody that can actually throw the ball. Even though he looks crazy throwing the ball, he still can throw the ball.
And don't miss games, though.
And don't miss games. You know what I'm saying? And he did it. You know what I mean? So, speaking of the Colts and the team that beat the Colts, you know what I mean, was the Buffalo Bills. You know what I mean? And they're heading on over in the Arrowhead. You know what I mean? You got a banged up Patrick Mahomes. But what people are forgetting is that he also had that toe injury. You know what I mean?
Turf toe. Damn right.
Right? Damn, they dubbed it turf toe?
Yep.
Ooh, that's not good.
Bruh.
So, but still though, he's a guy that could stand in shotgun and shred. So, you know what I mean? Like, so I'm not so much worried about that. Also on the Chiefs side, on their defensive side, you got Brashad Breeland. He's banged up. That's their best corner, and that's not saying a lot because he's not. Their secondary is not the greatest. You know what I mean? And then you talking about the receivers that they're going to be defending. You got an array of speedsters with John Brown, Stephon Diggs. You know what I mean? Like these,
Gabe Davis.
Yep, Gabe
Cole
Davis.
Beasley.
Cole Beasley underneath. And then the Chiefs are one of the worst against tight end. You might see a Dawson Knox appearance here. You know what I mean? Like as it stands right now, you look at how you could beat the Chiefs. And yeah, we named all those phenomenal receivers and then not to mention their quarterback is phenomenal at the guy throwing them the ball, but the best way to beat the Chiefs is run the ball. And
run the ball.
Buffalo's run game is basically, to me, Josh Allen. So they're really going to need to score at least 30 points because here's another thing. Patrick Mahomes got 9 losses in his career. And all those losses, or if the average point total in those losses is 30 points. Because he did have a loss to the Colts. Yeah, so they put up 30. Let me rephrase that. The average points that the Chiefs score on offense in those losses is 30 points. You know what I mean? Like in those 9 losses, you have one against the Rams on that Monday Night Thriller where they scored like 48, right? But then you have the one they lost to the Colts last year where it was like 13-10. So, you know what I mean? But, those are like the lopsided games. Aside from that, they average 30 points in losing efforts. So you're really going to
That's saying a lot, though.
Yeah. So Buffalo's really going to need to rack it up on them because they can't run the ball. Like I just mentioned, the Chiefs beat them 13. I mean, the Colts beat them 13-10 with Jacoby Brissett, right? So, and the way they did it was running the ball. You know what I mean? They just ran the ball, own time of possession. You know what I mean? And they scored on every possession. Whether it was a touchdown or a field goal. You know what I mean? And it was a really slow, drawn out game. And like Buffalo don't play that style. They slinging it. They're fast paced, spread offense. They lead the league in 4 and 5 wide receiver sets. So they're throwing this thing. Empty sets like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Like,
on my mama. But I think that Buffalo can go toe to toe at a slinging match, though. You can take your 10 steps and draw. You can line Mahomes in this season right here where we're talking about, back in the Wild Wild West, you can, put your backs towards each other, take 10 steps and draw. And I think that Josh Allen can do it right now.
He's quicker, he's quicker on the draw.
Since week 13, Josh Allen done threw for 1,516 yards with 15 TDs and 2 INTs and 530 yards and 3 TDs and no picks in the 2 playoff games, big bro.
Wow.
I think that he can slang that motherfucker with Mahomes with the weapons that he got right now, big bro. 100%. But just to be a little activist on the Kansas City side, Kansas City hasn't given up a 300-yard passer since week 12, and that was against Tampa. And that Tampa game was all garbage time for Tampa. You know what I mean? Yeah. So with Rashard Beelan being banged up and they bring Tyrann Mathieu down in the box to help for the run, because where you could beat, like you said, where you could beat Kansas City at is in the run. But you're not going to bring him down against Buffalo because there's no threat at the rushing. But my thing is, and Buffalo was my Super Bowl pick 3 weeks ago when we did when the Heart2Start
I seen that.
when we did our wild card matchup. I had Buffalo meeting the Bucks in our prediction. You know what I mean? So I think that Josh Allen definitely can go toe to toe with Mahomes in this shit right here. And then another thing is that motherfucking Tyreek, he hit for in week 12 when they played them. He hit for 13 receptions for 269 yards in week 12, which that was his biggest game. But since then, he's only had one game over 100 yards. You know what I mean? So just to have,
and they bottled him.
What's
also,
my boy name? I can't even think of the corner right now. I'm drawing it.
Tre'Davious White.
Tre'Davious White over there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Tre'Davious can run with him and whatnot, but Tyreek hasn't been consistent since week 12, since he exploded against Tampa. I think that was the Tampa game where he hit for the 269 and all that. But since week 12, and here we are in week 18 of the NFL schedule, he only had one 100-yard game. So it's going to be a Travis Kelce game. You know what I mean? You know, so I think without a doubt that Buffalo's defense, we seen it last week with the turnovers and all that they was causing in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I just think that Buffalo can go blow to blow with motherfucking Kansas City this week, big bro.
You know what's crazy is I'm trying to remember, bro. Like, because I know these two games today or on Sunday, week 6, these teams played each other. So,
right.
The week 6, Buffalo lost to the Chiefs, and the Packers lost to the Bucks.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and I bring this up to say because it was one of the uglier Josh Allen games of the year, and it was literally the most ugly Green Bay game of the year. You know what I mean?
Definitely, I agree.
And like, so now going back to the Chiefs game, like that game, this Sunday, it's in Arrowhead. When they played in Buffalo, that motherfucker was raining. It was bad weather.
Yeah. It was a CEH game too.
Yeah,
CEH hit for $1 something.
Yep. I was gonna say, and so CEH too. He was practicing in a limited capacity this week.
Him and Sammy this week.
But he did practice limited last week. Didn't play. But also that could show like the respect that they have for the Browns, which is probably not much. They're like, we don't need him to beat the Browns. You know what I mean?
Wow. Right.
Right? Like, because obviously, they're like, we're okay with Darrell Williams. This week, I mean, I could see them, forcing CEH back and trying to run all their running backs, because if there is some validity to these injuries affecting Patrick Mahomes at all, we're going to see the same game plan be put into play. The same game plan to stop Mahomes is the same way you combat Josh Allen and them. You run the ball, keep them off the field. You know what I mean? And that's one thing Buffalo did well last week. They contained the Ravens' rush attack, which was phenomenal, because the week before that, Indy's line handled them. Jonathan Taylor went off. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna try. They have 3 viable running backs, 4 if you count Deontay Thompson or Darwin Thompson. Right. If you count him, you got 4 viable running backs. They're gonna try to excuse me. They're gonna try to. Thank you. They're gonna try to hit him, real nasty with this rush attack, and then when you make the sad mistake for trying to stack any kind of box against Mahomes, he's gonna kill him. You know what I mean?
Even though, my bad for cutting you off, but even though that Hollywood poses a deep threat, and they were, Greg Roman was trying to get him out in space, especially against the Tennessee game.
They just blitzed him.
He was right. But see, when you got a Tyreek Hill, even though I just made a thing to say that Tyreek hasn't been consistent and whatnot, but the way that the motherfucking Bills was able to commit to the run game is because the outside weapons, even though Mark Andrews does his thing too, though. It wasn't this year that he did his thing, but Mark Andrews ain't no Travis Kelce.
No.
You know what I mean? You can't commit to stopping a run, which probably was the Buffalo defense is key goal is stopping the run, whether it be Dobbins, whether it be Gus the Bus, whether it be Lamar his motherfucking self. That was their main focus in Buffalo, was to stop them 3 dudes. You know what I mean? But when it comes to Kansas City, even though they lost to CEH hitting for $1.61, you know what I mean? Right now, you can't go in trying to commit to the run. You got to play Kansas City from hash to hash, sideline to sideline, end zone to end zone on everything. Even with a banged up Mahomes right now.
Yeah. Because, and these are 2 teams that very well could win games and still lose the time of possession battle. Like, because
they score fast.
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like these teams, like, if it gets out of hand, like you said, I like the Old West reference, man, because this shit could be a shootout for real. Like, it's it's a shootout in the making. Will it be? I'm not sure because a lot of playoff.
54 is the over/under on that one.
Yeah, that's
22 points apiece.
You know what's crazy?
If you break it down,
right? And then to get them over, what are we looking at?
Oh, I take that back. Not 22. My bad. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I had a little bit to drink. Playmakers. My bad.
No, it's all good. It's funny because I agreed too when I was doing the math. I was like, oh yeah, that's right there. Okay, so
yeah.
How about this? So you have the Bills in this because that's your.
Yeah, I got the Bills in this one. Yes, sir.
I've been the most torn on this, and I remember when Monday came around, and we were doing a show, and I was like, you know what? I like the Bills. You know what I mean? Like I love the Bills because right now they got something. They got that intangible on top of being healthy. You know what I mean? Like because Mahomes not being healthy is. I could say all the X's and O's bullshit I want. It's really just I like the Bills to have the edge here just because Mahomes is banged up. Like and Mahomes, if he can't get mobile in that pocket like he do, and be able to break the pocket like he do, that same game plan they put into place to stop Lamar. Like what's crazy is Frazier was smart. He was like, we're just gonna blitz Lamar every fucking time. You know what I mean? And it fucked him up. You know what I mean?
And the cold thing is though, what about the 100-yard pick six?
Right.
That was in the red zone. That was a zone read for the defense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though Pat Mahomes is I ain't gonna say a smarter quarterback. He just maybe can read the defense a little bit better.
I say smarter.
But yet, when you drop out in zone, or even when you drop out in man, just him not having that mobility to be able to escape that takes away from his motherfucking game. Whether it be turf toe or whether it be him El Concusto, it just takes a depth of his game. So if Buffalo can contain him and keep him in that pocket and also keep receivers covered, it takes away, bro.
Yeah. And like Josh Allen, he already plays in cold weather, so you can't be like, all right, well, maybe, can the cold weather affect him, stuff like that. But when you're hurt, like dealing with something like turf toe, you know what I mean, or any kind of injury for that matter, that cold could affect you. So I do fully expect a lot more shotgun. If there's some third and short situations, like 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, maybe they don't risk Patrick Mahomes, on the QB sneaks as much as they do, because last week, right after the toe injury, when he got back in the game at one point, shortly after that, on the next drive, they had a 3rd and short. You know what I mean? He QB sneaked it, you know what I mean? And like when he got up, he was like tender on that leg or on that foot. You know what I mean? And it's like, all right, well, how much are you willing? You're one game away from the Super Bowl. Like, so maybe they do go all out here. Either way, I do expect them to fully game plan. You know what I mean? To have more shotgun, more what is it called? Big packages. You know what I'm saying? Like
2 tight ends or
you know what I mean?
An extra lineman out there, whatever it may be.
Exactly. You know what I mean? Because if he's not going to be mobile, they're going to need everybody to give him as much time in that pocket, because Buffalo, they started turning up their pressure. You know what I mean? Their pass rush started turning up in this past couple weeks. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I am going to, and you know what, bro? Like, it's hard not to take the over on this because it just screams over, but I really like this Buffalo's secondary too, to keep this game close. Like, you keep it, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Travis,
Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer, motherfucking
you got Hughes,
Josh Norman, and then Tre'Davious White. You damn right.
That's a hell of a secondary. Then up front, you got Hughes, you got Edmonds, you got Milano. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I love their front seven too. So they are built. They are a speedy defense. Like, they're not built. They're not like the Chiefs front where you got big hogs up there. Not hogs. You got some big hitters up there. Chris Jones. You know what I'm saying?
Frank Clark.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's a stark contrast. You know what I mean? The style of defenses. You know, obviously Steve Spagnuolo, he loves to send pressure.
Right.
And you know, that's like, you know, you do that, Cole Beasley and you know, Dawson Knox are going to eat him up over that middle. So, you know, it's probably going to be my you know, I'd say this is probably the game I'm most interested in, but it's hard not to say that about this next fucking matchup. You know, what we're finally seeing, because we obviously never would see them in the playoffs unless against each other, unless it's the Super Bowl. And you know, now they're both in the NFC, and it does make sense that, you know what I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. Come at, you know what I mean, the cream of the crop this year. Tom Brady really impressed me because Tom Brady he's a guy who he really does rely on motherfuckers doubting him. You know, and they gave him a narrative. Oh, who's gonna be better without the other? You know what I mean? And clearly he's did all right without Belichick.
Man, that motherfucker had to play behind Drew Henson in Michigan.
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Drew Henson? Even though I heard Drew Henson was on the Sports Illustrated cover at Michigan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Two sport athletes, star athlete at both at baseball and football, but yet we got a 6-time Super Bowl winning quarterback that's having to doubt everybody that has said something bad about him till 2021. And this motherfucker was in college when motherfucking Charles Woodson was there. And Charles Woodson is one of the first defensive Heisman Trophy winners there is.
Yeah. One of the only ones.
Right, man, bruh.
Like, you know, I mean, look at Tom Brady. 9 Super Bowl appearances. So that's out of 20 years of playing, right? That's
his motherfucking career, bro.
That's damn near 50% of the time he got to the chip. 15 total championship appearances. You know, as far as 15 AFC. Now he's this is his 16th appearance in, you know, first NFC championship game, right? And goddamn, he's 14-1. You know what I'm saying? In his title games. No, is it 14-1? No, yeah, actually, how many title games? He lost one time to Baltimore.
I think he only lost on the road too.
He lost
every time he won. Every time he went to the AFC Championship at home, Baltimore. He's won. He's only lost on the road, I think.
He lost to Baltimore at home, and then Baltimore came to play the Niners. So I do remember that. But you are right. He did lose. He did lose to Peyton Manning twice. And once was in Indy, once was in Denver. So, So yeah, so my numbers might be a little wrong. Maybe I should have wrote that down. But either way, bro, like he's fucking phenomenal.
100% agree.
It almost seems like he even looks younger than 5 years ago. Like there's something. That's
avocado ice cream,
bro. I think I need to start eating that shit, bro.
Shit, me and you both, my nigga. Oh my mama.
You feel me? I fuck with avocado. You know what I'm saying? Ice cream,
I do too. Nigga, give me some guacamole right now.
Right?
Everything. Right? He doing something that we don't know, but you know that's that TB12.
And then you know TB12 over there. He got Mike Evans. He got AB, who's a little banged up right now. I mean, he got Leonard Fournette, who has like 5 postseason touchdowns, and I think he only like.
I got a few stats for that too, though. When we get to talking about this game too, bro.
You know what I mean?
My mama.
You know, he got Gronk over there, Cameron Brate, Chris Godwin, who has God.
You got God in winning your motherfucking name. Come on, right? Man. You know I fuck with you, big
right?
Man.
And then their defense is phenomenal. You know, maybe their secondaries, you know, it's mad questionable because they do give up plays, but they also make plays.
But they caused 11 turnovers since week 12.
And that's so.
That's big.
Yeah, it is big because they have a bunch of guys that are, you know, second-rate guys. You know, Jamel Dean, Marcus Murphy Bunting. You know what I mean? Carlton Davis. Those guys aren't the greatest, but that front seven is so ferocious. That like
Antoine Winfield Jr. as a rookie stepping in, making big plays.
Right? Because there's all this pressure in the face of the opposing QBs. They throwing contested balls, like disrupted passes. Like And you're gonna need.
And they lost Pitter though. I mean, damn, I can't even think of the youngster's name, but they lost the boy out of Washington, one of their D tackles. He been gone. I don't even know how long he been gone, but he been gone for a minute, bro.
Oh, is it Vita Vea? No.
Vita Vea.
Yeah, it is
That's
Vita
who it
Vea.
is.
That's
He been
right.
gone for a long, but you still got the number one rush defense or a top 3 rush defense without one of your top picks.
Yeah.
You still got Sue over there. You know what I mean? But still, though, Vita Vea is a hell of a player, bro.
Yeah, and man, Devin White too, bro, just balling.
Man, bro, the motherfucker was snubbed. And Brady had to calm him down and let him know, like, bro, even though you got snubbed on your Pro Bowl, we got something bigger. And that tapped into it, and he like, yeah, okay, and it showed last week, bro.
Is that what it is, bro? Is that what real champions do? Is they need to be told that they can't do it or snubbed somehow? Because that's Michael Jordan. Remember Michael Jordan used to make up shit. He would make up storylines like, this motherfucker 100%. Said this to me.
How this motherfucker get the All-Star vote and and all types of shit.
Yo, and that's he put the battery on his back though, right? On Devin White's back. That motherfucker.
Hey, that's what Kev do though. Kev make up false narratives though.
I like that. I gotta start doing that.
But you make up false narratives just to have content, nigga.
I like that
whether it be in the chat or on the podcast.
I like that, bro.
Everything. But yeah, though, bro.
So hit me off with some of these stats for this game, bro.
So what I was gonna say is just that on the offensive side of the ball with the Bucks, since week 12, usually on a lot of these stats that I've been trying to drop, it's been week 13, but the Bucks had a week 13 bye.
Yeah.
But Brady has thrown for 1,279 yards, 11 TDs, and 2 picks since week 13. And then in the 2 playoff games, he has 381 yards, 2 TDs versus 381 yards and 2 TDs versus the football team, and then only 199 yards versus the Saints and 2 TDs. But that was a Fournette game. Yeah. But then just to double back,
and they're divisional too. They were divisional too, so you knew it was going to be a tighter game.
Right, 100%. Especially when they got the brakes beat off of them. I think it was
twice.
Week 1 or week 2, and then
week 1 and like week 6. Or no, week 9. Week 1 and week 9.
Week 1 and 1-9 on everything. And then just Mike Evans, since week 15, he has had 3 100-plus yard games. You know what I mean? That's a consistent factor right there. But then to double back with Godwin, even though Godwin ain't been putting up the PPR
he
numbers,
put a TD up every game
on fantasy, but he's had 4 TDs since week 15. AB's had 5 TDs since week 15, and then Fournette in 2 playoff games has had 19 attempts and 93 yards versus the football team, and then 17 attempts and 63 yards against the Saints. So my thing is going into this Green Bay game, which we all know that Green Bay can't stop the run for a nosebleed. This might be a Ronald Jones and a Fournette game to set up everything else. Because the motherfucking the Green Bay Packers, bro, I got one more stat for you.
Yeah.
Green Bay has allowed 100-plus yard rusher 11 times this season.
Yeah.
I don't know what the win-loss percentage is on them 11 games. It might be 6-5 or whatever it may be. But just to give up 100-plus yards 11 times this season, and you got one of the greatest quarterbacks ever with those weapons. Yeah, he can manipulate a lot of shit, bro.
So they won. Packers, out of those 11 games, I want to say they won 9 out of 11, and the 2 losses were to the Colts and to the Bucks, because those were their only losses this year, right?
Yeah,
they only lost twice this year, right?
Wow.
So, and here's another one. Green Bay, they own time. They are number 1 at time of possession in this season. So, but they do that obviously because they run the ball like shit. And Rodgers, he'll weight that thing all the way down to 1 and then snap the ball. So he's taking as much time as possible. And that's just business as usual. Now, with all that said, they do that by running the ball, obviously, to set up the nasty play action. Because he got 17 touchdowns off of play action this year. I think 17 in the regular season. Because he had another one off the play action, nasty one to Lazard. You know what I mean?
In the playoff last week.
Yeah, so
yeah,
that's what 18 touchdowns off the play action out of what 40 plus. How many did he throw this year? 44, 46, something like that. That's a lot. So now, and here's the one thing: are they going to be able to get the play action? Like, are they going to be able to sell play action if you can't run against the number one rush defense?
Right, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? So it's like I will say this: Matt LaFleur coming off the bye week. It's only his second year. It was only his second year coaching. So, and they had the bye week in the playoffs. So, coming off the bye week, week 5, they got spanked by the Buccaneers in Tampa, right? They come off the bye week, and they don't look rusty at all against the Rams, right? But Cam Akers ran like shit all over them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even at one point, Goff was looking so bad, they put Cam Akers in the Wildcat
on my mama.
And I remember telling my girl, they should just do that every time. The Packers they couldn't stop it. And the one thing the Packers did is piss me off. They pissed me off week 16 fantasy Super Bowl week because goddamn it, I had Derrick Henry and they held him to under 98. I needed like a 20-point outing from him. He gave me 12 points. I was like, God damn it, out of all the weeks against the juicy matchup, you die on me, right?
Right, my mama.
But they held him to 98. That's still, you know what I mean? Like, and then, so I'm mind you, I'm looking up these stats to try to figure out, all right, how does Green Bay win this game? Like, is it do they win because they got beat by them before and they're like, okay, we were not going to make these mistakes again? Or I look up Tom Brady and cold weather games, right? I'm like, okay, let's go find a narrative here. And then I'm like, because I started thinking like, I can't really remember Tom Brady playing that well in cold weather. Then I remembered the Tennessee game, the snow game.
Where
he went crazy. And then I started looking up like, all right, he averages like a 70% completion rating. You know what I mean? But, the pass attempts were usually lower because they're usually running the ball when he was with New England in cold weather. You know what I mean? Sometimes they might even deflate the ball. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying?
So
like,
you can grip that bitch
yeah,
better.
because it's going to be bad. It's going to be cold and bad weather. And like, what do we see here? Under Bruce Arians, like, how do you feel like Tampa Bay is going to attack them? Like, obviously, you said on the ground.
I think it's going to be like last week. The Tampa Bay is going to try and beat Green Bay's defense up with the run. And then even though Antonio Brown didn't practice today, I think that's back-to-back days that he didn't practice.
He'll play.
A Gronk, with a fucking Mike Evans, with a Godwin, with a Tyler Johnson. You know what I mean? Even Scotty Miller,
too hotty.
They have too many weapons. So if you're beating them up, on first and second down and getting third and fours and shit like that, that opens up everything. And then you got Bruce Arians coming out talking about, man, I just let Brady just go ahead and do his thing. So whatever you're giving Brady, he's seen everything under the sun in this league.
Yeah.
Even though in life there's nothing new under the sun, but in football with Brady, there's nothing new under the motherfucking lights.
Nah. And
on everything.
Okay, do we know the schedule? Do you know the time of this game off the top of your head? Is this the early game or the late?
Let me see. I think I might be able to pull it up, big bruh. Sunday at 3:40 p.m. So okay. I don't know if that's that gotta be
Central time.
No, I take that back. 12:05.
Okay,
so that's the first game.
Yeah. So they're gonna be playing in the middle of the day. They're 2 hours ahead. That's Central time. So they'll be playing at 2:00 their time, right?
Yeah.
So that's middle. The reason I see, because I'm still trying to see if there's anything that could help Green Bay aside from them being just one of the best teams this year. Because I feel like Tom Brady, like I got the Packers in this one, to be honest with you. Because I had the Packers Chiefs as my pick before the playoffs started. But then I've reserved the right to change my stance, especially when I finally put the money down on what I'm going to do. And you know what I mean? Like I like the Bills, Packers, but when you give Tom Brady storylines, like for example, the big storyline, the one, like you said, Tom Brady has seen everything under the sun. He's also done and achieved everything under the sun, except for one thing that nobody has in the league. You want to know what that is?
What's that, big bruh?
That's host a home Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
Right.
Cause
hey, we was trying to get there when Carolina got there too.
And you know what, too?
My bad. I hate to go off track, but we was trying to get there though.
And we played Carolina week 1 too, where I was like, well, you know what? We ain't getting there. I was like, I seen the way
fuck, bro.
Yeah, and you know what's funny about that too, bro, is when you think about it, it's like a curse.
Yeah.
Any team that's been, or any stadium that's chose to host the shit, we've never seen that team go to the chip. Right. Matter of fact, I remember losing a ton of money on Minnesota back in the 2017 year. So this January 2018, I kept losing money betting against them until they got to the NFC Championship, and I still continued because I was like, ain't no fucking team getting to the and then they played the Eagles, and I recouped everything. I was like, I told y'all, it took motherfucking 2 games to lose, because remember they had the bye week that year, right? They was like the number 1 team in the NFC with Case Keenum. You know what I'm saying? And with all that said, like, I remember even the goddamn Minnesota Miracle, I was like, God damn it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but so that's one of the reasons, one of the intangibles why I lean on Green Bay. Like, I've just never seen it, but there's a first for everything, right?
It is. It definitely is. And here we is in the motherfucking COVID era, though.
Right?
Anything goes, and anything is unpredictable, in 2020/2021, though we only 3 weeks into 2021.
Bro,
man, ain't nothing hey,
when you see them people,
written right now, man, anything goes right now.
Listen, I can't argue that. You ain't lying there when you say anything goes, because when we popped off this year, and then we seen all them white folks going crazy, I was like, whoa, this is
and not going stupid like how we say where we from, not going yay where we from. They was literally going crazy.
They were going crazy.
We thought we would never see that.
Right? So listen, if and who'd have even thought we would have saw? How about this? Going back to 2020, who'd have even thought we would see Tom Brady in another uniform?
And right,
you know what I mean?
100% though, big. I definitely agree with that, G.
So now let's look
at everything.
Let's get to this Green Bay side real quick, because Aaron Rodgers, listen, I'm happy. I said this on the episode with White Chocolate. Shout out to Clock Management.
Shout out to White Chocolate. Chocolate and my dog.
I said I really like how Shanahan's offense is flourishing in Green Bay. You know what I mean? Like,
right, 100%. Like the brother.
Yeah, because you got Aaron Rodgers. Like, not only is the system shown and proved to work, but when you have one of the greatest of all time running that system, like, Aaron Rodgers used to call audibles like shit. He don't like what he see. Boom, he audibles to another play. Now with all the motions we run, or not we, but the Green Bay with that with that style of offense, there's a motion and movement on every pre-snap motion. He's seeing what the defense is giving him, bro. Like he's a surgeon out there.
And this shit showed on when they played the Rams.
Yep.
Did you see how mad Jalen Ramsey was when Devontae sprinted across the field?
Mm-hmm.
And that boy Ramsey was hot. But that is all predicated off the fucking motion, though.
Yeah, like that shit was that was one of those things where it was specifically drawn up for Adams. Like, when we're gonna get to a point in the game where we're down there in the red zone, and they're gonna be looking for the run. They're gonna be looking for the Tanyan. You know what I mean? Like, listen, and you would think that they're gonna double him, Adams. They put him in motion. Bam. You know what I mean? And Ramsey was hot about that. Super. Hey, you got outplayed. They made that play to fool Ramsey. That was what that was about.
I agree with that, big bro.
You know what I mean? And like, none of those cornerbacks on paper to me stand a chance against Adams. But, yo, they bottled him up last time. And all they did was just continue to pressure Rodgers. They hit him as much as they could. It was, you know what's funny is how we talked about how the way you beat Mahomes or Josh Allen is kind of the same approach. Run the ball, keep them off the field. In this case, the way you beat Brady always has been just get Brady off his spot, hit him. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's
flood them gaps. Flood them. I don't know if it's the A gap or the B gap, but you bring the pressure from up middle. So because he can't step up. It's not from the pressure on the outside to beat Brady. It's the pressure on the inside.
Yep, the B gaps.
Yes, sir.
And like, I mean that's sort of the same way you beat Aaron Rodgers, but yo, if you're sending that pass rush like crazy, bro, like, you know what I mean? Like that middle of the field, like they aren't the best against the tight end position. You know what I mean? Matter of fact, Jared Cook had a couple of bad drops last week where like it could have probably changed the course of the game. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? But either way, and even the pick, one of the picks that breezed through, he was trying to get it to Jared Cook. You know what I mean? So, maybe Robert Tonyan has a game here. You know what I mean? Maybe one of the secondary options at receiver, like a MVS or Allen Lazard. But because I feel like it's going to be incredibly difficult to run against the Bucs.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, the numbers say that right now, without a doubt. You know? And then Aaron Jones, since week 13, has hit for 449 yards and 3 TDs. He's been one of the most consistent running backs since week 13. But when you going up against a Tampa Bay Buccaneers defense since week 13 has only given up 1 or 3 100-yard rushers, but also has held 3 teams under 100 yards, and one of them teams was 39 yards rushing. You know what I mean? And the way that Green Bay is able to run the ball is because they get up on you so fast to where you can't run the ball. But if they got a 14, 15, 16-point lead, they can go ahead and milk the clock on your motherfucking ass.
Do we know a status of A.J. Dillon? Because I feel like, maybe just, if you had a banger.
I got something on that right now, big bro. As of yesterday, let me pull it up.
Yeah, because maybe
Green Bay.
Maybe you.
So, is that Green Bay, right? Okay, so A.J. Dillon, as of yesterday, was questionable. Dillon quadriceps was limited in practice on Wednesday.
Okay, so he's on. So I'm assuming if he was limited on Wednesday with no setbacks, he practiced on a Thursday. So Friday practice report will tell it all, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean, because the reason I say this is because like finesse backs that catch the ball, that's how you attack them. That is Aaron Jones and the Jamal Williams. So. You know what I mean? But I know when you chew that clock up, you know what I mean, you're gonna need some kind of banger over there. You know what I mean?
Without a doubt, like you said, that bell cow, how we was talking about earlier in the episode.
On this one, obviously you have it's crazy because we're a stark contrast here. Like I actually I am on the Bills with you, but I am on the Packers here.
Yeah, nah, definitely. No, I definitely can make a reason why. You would say the Packers, or just in general, just the Packers to win this game. But my thing is that with Arians giving Tampa the full reins,
and basically
him
giving
going
him the
out
keys.
there and seeing what he sees, and him having Fournette and him having Ronald Jones, which was a top 3 rusher for like the first 6 weeks of the season, the first 7 weeks of the season, and then having those weapons on the outside. Even though, like I stated, Green Bay hasn't given up a 300. No, what is it? Give me 2 seconds.
Yeah, 300
Green Bay
yard
hasn't given up a 300-yard plus passer all year.
Wow,
that's the thing. They haven't given up a 300-yard passer all year, and that might just because they get up on you so fast, and then they creating turnovers and shit. But the cold thing is that Tampa doesn't have to throw for 300. He only threw for 199 against Drew Brees because the defense, Leonard Fournette was doing his thing, but the defense caused 3 turnovers in that game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And
so
goddamn,
that's my thing about Tampa going in to Lambeau. You know, it might be 20 degrees in this game and whatnot, the whole shit. And this is a rematch from week 12 or whatever, week 6. I forgot what week it was. But
it's week 6. And they turned over Rodgers twice. And at that point, he didn't throw no picks the whole year until that game, and he threw 2 of them joints.
Wow. Now that's a hell of a stat right there, big bro.
Yeah. So it's it's going to be – I think it's safe to say between the two of them, Brady made more mistakes in its entirety. Because this is the first time we've seen Brady throwing picks on the regular. You know what I mean? Obviously, Aaron Rodgers, he's probably going to be named MVP. He played like an MVP this year. Brady impressed me, though, because he played like a guy who was in motion in process of learning the team and getting the team to learn him.
And I definitely agree with that, because if you go back to last year, which was Rodgers' first year in the system, here it is his second year, but last year was in the COVID era. In 19, it was in the COVID era. But Brady going into the first year in a new system with a new team, which is a COVID era, which he ain't had the whole
camp, for real.
grasp of motherfucking March, which is OTAs. Then you come back in June and you do some lift weight and shit. You off for a month. You come back in July and you got the whole full training camp. We ain't had that like that this year. Nope. And for him to be here at this point with a whole bunch of new dudes except for fucking Gronkowski.
Right? And it wasn't like Gronk was like, he's like, all right, Gronk, we're here now. You're the only guy I'm familiar with. I'm just going to hyper-target you. He didn't do that. Like, Gronk didn't come on until like week 5 or 6. Like, that's when he actually was against the Packers when he had a big game. It was one of his
100%.
first big games of the year. But at the end of the day, this is a marquee matchup. Both these games. You know what I mean?
No, definitely.
And I feel like between the two, Brady or Rodgers, it's whoever makes the least mistakes. Like, if Brady's turning the ball over, you know what I mean, I got the Packers in it. You know what I mean? And on the flip side, if the Bucs defense is able to turn Rodgers over and make him make mistakes like they did already this year, you know what I mean? You know what's funny though? Is I'm just gonna say fuck all the football takes about it. I like Rodgers in this because he's a Sagittarius, bro, like us. And
he from Cali, though.
Yeah, and he from Cali.
But Brady from Cali, too, though.
Yeah, he is, though. Northern
shit.
Cali. But see, here's the thing, right? Rodgers, bro, us Sagittarius, you don't get us twice the same time. The same way.
100%.
Listen, you got us last time that way. You got to find a new way to get us because the next time around,
shame me once.
Yeah.
Shame me twice.
Right? The third time, shame on me. You feel me? Like,
right.
It ain't, I just don't see it. I mean, honestly, me saying I don't see it happening like that more than likely not it's going to happen that way. But there's a lot of things here at stake. There's Aaron Rodgers. Is he one of the greatest? He needs to get to a Super Bowl and win it, right? Because
no, definitely no. That take right there, I definitely agree upon because Brady's his stance in NFL history is solidified.
Yeah,
he's going out there just to go play, bro. I mean, he might be trying to make a statement to Belichick, and I mean, Kraft is his step pops.
Yep.
Robert Kraft is his second dad. I mean, he's not proving nothing to Robert Kraft because Kraft then gave him everything. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? This is going towards motherfucking Belichick. But yet where Aaron Rodgers is, he's fighting not only every other quarterback that only has one Super Bowl, but he's fighting against motherfucking Brett Favre. You know what I mean? He's fighting against Roger Starr. Yep. I mean, Bart Starr. You know what I mean? Other quarterbacks that have played in Green Bay that only have 1 and 2 Super Bowls. For him, out of all 4 quarterbacks on Sunday that's playing, to me, Rodgers needs this the most because this solidifies his legacy with them also drafting a quarterback in the first round. Whether they fucking Jimmy Garoppolo him sitting for 2 years, 3 years, and send his ass away, or whether they send motherfucking Rodgers like Tampa. Okay, you done did everything for this organization. It's time for you to go. But yet, before I go, I'm going to kick down this door and show you motherfuckers what I done did. You know what I mean? So that's why I think that Rodgers needs this the most.
How long Rodgers been the starter over there? Like 2008?
6, 7, something like that.
Because I know he sat down for a couple years behind Favre.
No, he sat like for 2-3 years without a doubt. And I think
so. We're looking
his first or second year, they ran up against the Steelers. It was Mike Tomlin's like first or second year with Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he went to the fucking Super Bowl.
So that was the 2010 season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, not 2010 season, the 2009 season, right? Or no, was it? Either way, it was. I think it was 2011 January, right? Was that when? Either way, it was the early teens of the 2000s, right? It was
okay,
right. The reason I'm saying this is because I agree with you. Aaron Rodgers needs it because when it's all said and done, they're gonna look at the amount of years Rodgers was the starter and be like, we only got one. It's the same way for the Saints right now. Look at the Saints. They had Drew Brees since 2006.
Yeah.
They only got one, and they only had one appearance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's crazy. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but you got Titletown versus Archie Manning with his motherfucking bag over his head, or the fans with their bag over their head. You know what I mean?
True.
The Saints ain't what it is when you had, the Lombardi Trophy is named after Vince Lombardi. So compare that to, you know what I mean? To me, just putting on that Packers uniform, you know what I mean, and compare it with Bart Starr and Brett Favre and, you know what I mean, here you come as Aaron Rodgers, for you to solidify yourself in Packers, in the Ring of Fame. The Ring of Fame in Lambeau Field, all you got is 2 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The rest of them is, Nitschke and I can't even think of no other motherfuckers, but it's not no other quarterbacks but Bart Starr and Brett Favre. And Brett Favre only got one, so you need this to go ahead and put your name up past him. The motherfucker that they drafted you over Brett Favre.
Wow. That is true.
For real.
Yeah. I mean, and obviously you have Tom Brady who, wants to prove to the naysayers. I mean, even if they weren't naysaying, he would say they are because, he needs to create that narrative.
Narrative without a doubt.
Right? But, a lot of people are like, for someone like me, I'm not surprised that he's in the NFC Championship with his new team. Doesn't surprise me. You gave Tom Brady. What did surprise me was that early on Bruce Arians was like throwing him under the bus. Oh, Tom's making mistakes. Well, but maybe Bruce Arians knew, like, listen, if I just talk shit to this man, to the media,
it's gonna fire his motherfucking ass up.
Yeah, and it did though, because bro, he went for 4,000 plus. And 40
at 43 tugs. Though, big bro. I just turned 40. What is today? Today, like the 20-something. I turned 40
like exactly a month
ago, right?
Couple days, yeah.
And not to compare me with Brady or anything, but to be doing anything at 43 to where you got grown motherfuckers trying to knock you had Chase Young talking about in week 17, I can't wait to see Brady. Chase Young ain't nothing but 22, 23 years old, cut up like the motherfucking Incredible Hulk. And Brady shrugged that shit off. I'm just saying, though, bruh.
Brady said, pass me that tub of, avocado ice cream.
100%.
Chase Young is coming for me.
I'm like, fuck, bro. Brady is my dude, though, bro.
I fuck with Brady and Rodgers, bro.
Since early 2000s, I swear to you.
Listen,
I just don't see my dog going out right now. Even if he do go out right now, it was a hell of a motherfucking fight. But I bet you he don't lay down right now. If he lose on Sunday, bro, he gonna be back.
Yeah, he's gonna be back regardless. Like, well, okay, how about this? If and when they get to the Super Bowl and win, Brady's not done. Like, let's say regardless, he's not done.
I mean, he's setting records, bro. He's setting records, you know what I mean? And, you know, I heard a motherfucking crazy-ass stat about Phillip Rivers, right?
Yeah.
You know, and I hate to just double back and go back on some.
No, it's all good. It's all
shit.
good. Shout out to P. Rib.
You got several Hall of Famers that they TD to interception ratio, you know, is, you know, 5+, 7+, 10+. You know, Phillip Rivers has 200 more touchdowns thrown than interceptions, right?
Wow.
And I can't think of what Brady's stats is right now, but Brady is going down. He wants to go down as that guy, even though that Peyton Manning got a certain amount of, you know, and then a certain amount of numbers, but even though that Breeze and Brady was fighting back and forth for yards and I think TDs this year, but Brady wants everything though, bro. That's the guy that he is.
And you know it's hella funny. Speaking of you know, people that like hold all the records. You know who be like reluctant to congratulate motherfuckers when they break one of his several records is the GOAT, Jerry Rice. Like anytime a receiver breaks one of his records, you're like, well, I still got 20 other ones. Like, you know what I mean? Like
100%.
So
and then the cool thing is though, only Randy Moss and T.O. is close. Other than that, I mean, you know, Marvin Harrison didn't have some few years.
And then
but
Calvin
you know,
Johnson
when you got
too.
203 TDs, which Jerry Rice has, and you know, 190 of them, 195 of them is motherfucking receiving TDs, and then whatever his yards is, I forgot it. It might be 15,000, 16,000. You know what I mean? And then the receptions, I think motherfucking Marvin Harrison and fucking Mike Thomas is the only ones that have came close to the single season, but the all-time season is not going to happen with Jerry Rice.
Yeah. It's not. And like, you know what's the thing too is I think even Calvin Johnson, if he would have played, you know the same length of career as Jerry Rice, he might have got close. But you know, there was the size of that man and his style of play. You know, that wasn't going to last long. He was getting beat up. Like he was like the 50-50 ball king.
Right.
You know, Matt Stafford just throw that thing up there. Okay, real quick, I want to veer real quick just for a sec, because you know we pretty much covered the games. Now, you know, you are a Niner. I'm glad I got you here right now. But listen, what would you feel about Matt Stafford? He's only 32.
As long as Matt Stafford healthy, you know what I mean? And, you know, Matt Stafford is a 4,500-yard passer.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I mean? That can stay on the field. You know, these last couple of years he's been banged up. But look, though. Just how you just brought up Calvin Johnson, what'd he do? He retired early. Yeah. What Barry Sanders do? Retired early. What those two dudes have in common? They played for the Lions. What Matt Stafford played for? He played for the Lions. The Lions ain't doing nothing. He trying to get the fuck up out of there, bruh.
Oh, shit.
On everything. I wouldn't mind having Matt Stafford over there, bro. Especially with the type of run game that we have, but we just got to shore up that offensive line.
I think
you know, I can't wait to listen to the podcast tomorrow that you and White Chocolate threw on there, because, you know, we got Trent Williams that's a motherfucking free agent.
Yeah.
You got motherfucking Mike McGlinchey that gave up a whole bunch of motherfucking sacks. Yeah. You know, I can't think of the center that we brought from New York from the Giants name right now who hasn't played. You know what I mean? It's just the offensive line, but just when you got a fucking Mostert, when you got a JWJ that comes in for Mostert and balls the fuck out, you know what I mean? Shit like that. And then you got to think though, Kittle only played 5 games this year, but yet you got an Ayuk that came in, even though you had the boy for Minnesota that looked great. It was another rookie that looked great, but Ayuk sat out a few games, but Ayuk looked like he's that guy. Then Debo, even though Debo sat out a few games, I mean, if you had everybody on offense together this year, just like last year, we're a 30-plus point game per game, bro.
Bro, we were second in time of possession in the league. Yeah, only behind Green Bay.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, bro. Like our system works, bro. We
fucking works, bro. Yeah. But see, the only thing is though, you know, we hit on our late round picks, even though I'm not calling Ayuk a bust. But other than that, we just don't draft right. Everything else we hit on. Everything else we fucking hit on, bro.
We got bad luck with our first round picks, bro.
Yeah.
Like, like it's fun. My memory goes back to like when I really started like noticing this trend, like as AJ, the receiver, AJ.
The boy out of fucking, he was out of like Tennessee.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember.
I forgot where the fuck. That was one of Trent Baalke's picks too, I think, bro.
Yeah, it was the Baalke era. It was AJ.
Oh my mama, I forgot that boy name. They picked him like in the 30s. Late 29, late 20s, early 30s. We picked him.
I forget his name, bro. But then, even going down to Bruce. What was his name? Bruce
Ellington out of South Carolina. He was a basketball player as well.
You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker retired early. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it was so when we go in South Carolina, you got to remember the motherfucking running back too that didn't have no motherfucking ACLs.
Oh yeah, Mike Davis. Was it Mike Davis?
No, it was another motherfucking running back that Baalke took. What's that motherfucker's name? Oh shit. Damn, that's gonna fucking bother him. But I don't think he played even a down.
Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't even get on the field. I know you're talking about.
He didn't even get on the fucking field, but we took him like in the third. But he had a hell of a college career though. He played in the SEC.
I'm killing myself right now. I'm trying
that's
to remember.
That's gonna hurt me when we get off this motherfucker.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember the name of that receiver.
That's just who we are. And then, we take chances on motherfuckers, and then the shit don't pan out.
Like, think about this. Look when Lynch came in too. We had real bad luck with Foster and Solomon Thomas. Like Foster, he had his bitch lying on him. She was lying on him all day. And then Solomon Thomas, he just, besides injuries, he's just not panning out.
But that was that Stanford connection, though. That was the only thing. And that's the year we could have had motherfucking McCaffrey. or Watson or Mahomes.
Oh, man. But you know what, though? Hold on. We took McGlinchey. Oh, no. That wasn't the year we took McGlinchey. We took Solomon Thomas. That was the 2017 year.
Solomon Thomas. So the boy from Chicago, they traded up for us to go get the quarterback. But motherfucking Carolina took fucking McCaffrey. Watson went to motherfucking Houston. Motherfucking Mahomes went like 15 or 16. They traded up to go get Mahomes, bro.
Well, okay, so when we talk about, when you listen to
his name is Marshawn Lattimore.
Marshawn
Lattimore. He went to the same school as Bruce Ellington, big bro. He had one of the best college careers as an SEC running back, but he had got hurt. I think it was an ACL or some shit like that. And the motherfucker didn't play no downs for us.
Hey, Baalke was like, listen, there once upon a time, we brought over a guy coming off of 2 ACLs, Frank Gore.
Named Frank Gore. And I'm a Hurricane fan.
And we did the same thing with Mike Davis, too, because remember, Mike Davis had coming off the ACL. You know what I mean? So it's kind of funny because, you know what I'm saying? Like, listen, hey, I went from loving Baalke to, like, get him out of here. Like,
But the cool thing is, Baalke is the one that brought motherfucking what's my boy name that played for the Cowboys right now? The fucking pass rusher.
Hold on. Alden Smith.
Alden Smith. He brought Alden Smith in, bro.
Yeah,
on my mama. He brought Alden Smith. But the cool thing is, what was the GM's name before Baalke? The boy, he was a drunk. They fired him for drinking on the job. He's the one that built the team, bro.
Yeah.
I can't even think of his fucking name right now.
I remember he built the team, and then motherfucking Singletary put the team in check.
Facts.
And then Harbaugh kind of reaped the benefits.
He did.
He came in and was like, all
and the
right.
cool thing is, the boy that built the team, he was just in Jacksonville this year. I can't even think of his motherfucking name. Shout out to him, bruh. Because that whole early 2010 teams, bruh, on my mama, man, bruh, we had balls.
I remember, when we lost the NFC Championship to the Seahawks, right? So to get back to the Super Bowl, when we lost
the game that Kaepernick single-handedly beat the shit out the Seahawks.
Yeah, and then it was crazy because almost a calendar year later, where you threw it 4 times in a row against the Ravens down there in the red zone. when you should have just ran Frank the Tank, here you are again. You didn't test Richard Sherman the whole entire game. And then, even though we were running the read option, when we got into the red zone, it came out later on that Jim Harbaugh was the one who called those plays. So he was like, we're going to Crabtree right here. And of course, Kaepernick, like a good soldier, is like, all right, let's go. And then they didn't test Sherman the whole game, and they tested him with the game on the line.
With the game on the motherfucking line, but the cold thing is, him and Frank Gore was tearing off chunks every time they touched the motherfucking ball. I swear to you, bro.
Give it.
That shit hurts.
Yeah, it does hurt. And what's crazy is, you know what I'm saying? Like this, one thing that I talked with Justin was like, man, I felt like okay about the injuries this year. Like, I thought good. We just got hit with a bad, it was just bad luck. Like, shit happens like that. We'll be all right. But then, when I start looking up the amount of free agents we have that we aren't going to be able to keep, especially because you look at the guys we got to pay, like a Fred Warner. We're going to, even if we don't pay him this year, it's a contract year, we're going to have to pay him because we're not moving on from him. You know what I mean? And then here, I'm just prepared for a complete overhaul is what I'm trying to say. But here, let me ask you this before we close this thing out. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's the Watson rumors, etc. But, fuck all the rumors. Do you want Jimmy back? I'm ready to move on.
My only thing with Jimmy is that his full first season as playing as a Niner quarterback, where did we go?
We got to the Super Bowl.
We got to the fucking Super Bowl, bro.
And we were one of the highest.
I don't know. You can't predict no motherfucking injuries.
Yeah.
You can't predict, he's going to throw for 50 TDs and 10 picks. You know what I mean? But my thing is that if you can go upgrade the position, which the only upgrade to me would be motherfucking Watson, because and not to say nothing about Stafford or nothing like that.
Or Matt Ryan.
But, Stafford is not a top 5 quarterback. You know what I mean?
Top 10.
But if you're going to move on for Jimmy, it has to be for fucking Watson. Other than that, you know what I mean? But then we got cap issues. Just like how you was bringing up Fred Warner got to get paid. You know what I mean? Pretty soon, Bosa going to have to get paid.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Debo gonna have to get paid. We didn't pay Kittle already. Raheem Mostert restructured his contract, which it really ain't too bad.
Really ain't
shit like that, bro. I mean,
and
even fucking Armstead though. That's one of the and Armstead from Sacramento. You know what I mean? Armstead might have been a bad move though. Even though we was able to get a first round pick that allowed us to go get motherfucking IU. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then we got motherfucking the right tackle. I can't even think of his name right now. I just said his name not too long ago. Who had a fucking horrible season this year.
Yeah, McGlinchey.
Yeah. Right? I mean,
see, that's part of that bad luck. Part of that bad luck shit, bro.
Greg, him and fucking I can't even think of it. John Lynch. They got a lot of shit on their plate this year. But my thing is that give Jimmy. If you're not going to move on for Jimmy, which you can't, you rushed him back. From the first initial ankle sprain, you rushed him back in 3 weeks, 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Which it wasn't,
and if you were
wasn't beneficiary.
If you were going to try to move
Jimmy. And then the cold thing is though, who he tear his ACL against? Was Chiefs. Kansas City the year before, who he played in the Super Bowl a year later. And he was bringing them back against KC, though. If the game that he tore his ACL in, they jumped out on us on like 20 fucking points. That's the year that Mahomes threw for 50 fucking TDs, man. Yep. He was coming back on a motherfucking ass.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, it was a non-contact injury.
No, it was a non-contact. 100%. Yeah. You're right, bro.
He was breaking. I think he was rolling out.
He was rolling out and he was going for the first down and he didn't get touched. And he tore his fucking ACL, bro.
And you know
everything.
And see, that's one thing why I love the idea of Watson or anyone that's just mobile is because, the Shanahan offense has bootlegs and rollouts and shit like that we're kind of pigeon-held, that 2019 season with Jimmy G because he wasn't 100% yet. And he used to admit he's like, I feel like I'm 80%. Even though we was winning like shit. I had a saying that year. I said, we're winning ugly with handsome Jimmy. Because, he would be good for a mistake or 2 or 3. Like, remember this?
No, without a doubt.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I feel like I love Shanahan. I think he's kind of arrogant because, first of all, I love him too because he's a Sagittarius. And one thing, about him is he's like, listen, my system works. You know what I'm saying? Give me a guy, I can make it work with him. You know what I mean? And it's I would love to have just not only this system in play, but someone extremely talented.
What are you willing to give up on your team right now for motherfucking Watson? You're going to have to give up some picks. But what the rumor is that you're going to have to give up a key starter, whether it be on offense or defense. Tell me.
The Texans need defense, so it's if they said something like Bosa, I'd be like, nah. You know what I mean? Or if they said something they need a lot. See, here's the thing: the Texans need it all. They need secondary.
They need it all.
They need secondary. And then, shout out to Smoking Jay. One of the rumors over there in Chicago is that they're willing to send off Kyle Fuller and Jalen Johnson along with all these picks. The 20th pick overall this year, next year's first round, etc. So they can go ahead and right their wrongs and bring over Watson where they should have drafted him to begin with. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and that sounds more feasible. Maybe even if there was to give up Khalil Mack in it, because they got more goddamn options on defense of guys that they could probably do without. You know what I mean? We can't do without any of our guys. You know what I mean?
Right. No, definitely. No, definitely. I agree with that. But if I'm the Niners, my package would be with Bosa, just based on Bosa's injury history going back to college. Go. You know what I mean? Even though he's still a young dude, he's 23, 24, I would give up Bosa. I'm not giving up Warner. You know what I mean? Even though I feel like, we're going to lose damn, I can't even think of the other pass rusher's name that had a hell of a season for us right now on everything.
Williams?
But who?
Oh, no. I was going to say, no, my bad. You said pass rush.
It was a pass rusher that we had. I can't even think of his name right now that we had that he had a hell of a season right now. But I would definitely give up Bosa just to keep Warner. So I would package some picks and give up Bosa, even though, they don't even run the 4-3 over there. You know what I mean? In Houston right now.
But as it stands, because they still haven't brought
as it stands, right?
Because they're gonna overhaul their coaching regime.
But I would definitely shoot Bosa and 3 first rounders to get me a top 5 quarterback. And Deshaun ain't even 25 yet, bro. That's the thing to go on top of with Kittle, Debo, and Ayuk. You know what I mean? Even though we might be sacrificing a little bit of our fucking defense for the offense, but our offense will put up 30 plus
if we could still
every
be
game with Watson and the rest of the weapons that we have with the running attack. That's the thing, though. Watson hasn't had this type of running attack in his whole fucking career.
For real, though. You ain't lying. And, if we could be at the, top 5 in time of possession, you know what I mean? Then we could keep our defense fresh off the field. You know what I mean? That'll help. And we could play with leads. That's all.
Play with leads.
Yeah. Man.
Damn, I wish I could think of the boy name right now. He just made the team this year. I can't even think of his motherfucking name right now, bruh. You know what I mean? But we need to get our motherfucking cap right, though. Our cap is fucked up right now. Sherman finna walk. I'm glad we got rid of the boy that went to the Saints. Because he ain't did shit for us.
Yeah, and he went on to get hurt, too. So it's at least we got a pick out of it. You know what I mean?
Right, 100%. And then we got a third round out of the pick out of the baby LaFleur that went with Salah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, nah, definitely, man. I mean, I know the future is still bright for us. I'm not writing this off right now. But my thing is definitely, what are we going to do at this quarterback position? Are you going to let Jimmy go ahead and rock out, especially since we only seen one season of a full Jimmy,
Patriots might want him back.
No, the Patriots might want – even Chicago, though. We don't know what they're going to do with Trubisky.
Hey,
and Jimmy is an East Illinois dude. I don't know.
Hey, check this out. Buddy over there, the new GM for the Texans, he was part of the round table over there in New England when they drafted Jimmy G. So maybe we throw Jimmy in the mix too. Listen, we'll go ahead and give you Jimmy G. You know what I mean? He could be, and Jimmy's affordable as far as the quarterback market goes. Was he get
damn right?
You know what I mean? I mean, you know what's funny? I do have fun speculating like this because at the end of the day, Watson probably gonna not go anywhere. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. No, for real.
But
I
somehow,
definitely can see that happening as well, though, big bro. Is that, they get Watson. And see, the cold thing is, like, when y'all was on After Dark last week, even though I misquoted the motherfucking owner, but yet, when the owner says, we're not going to let the inmates run the asylum, and here it is, you tell me that, we're going to give you the input on, the
because
GM
Watson is
or
trying
the
to,
coach or
he
whatnot,
wants
here
to
it is,
say.
and then the year before that, you send off my best weapon and you bring me David Johnson and Brandon Cooks, even though Brandon Cooks did his thing. And for the last three games,
original
David Johnson helped me win one of my shits. But still, though, you ship off DeAndre, bro.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? You don't even bring Bieniemy in until, the bye week of the play. I mean, it ain't even the bye week of the playoffs, but yet he just had a fucking Zoom meeting with you.
Hey, and you know what they did? They changed the rule for that because Watson was complaining so much that like the league went and changed the rule to allow an interview of a coach that's still because the rules you can interview a coach that's on the way to the Super Bowl because you have that 2-week grace period.
But that's how we got Shanahan.
Exactly.
During the Atlanta run.
Exactly, because that's not against the rules. But they went and changed the rules so they could get Eric Bieniemy to get an interview because Watson talking about, listen, he putting all these cryptic tweets up, talking like when he put the Joe Montana jersey went up. I was like, yes.
In the drop. I was juiced on that. I sent that to the future stars, the future coach chat, like praying emojis. Man, we need this boy right now.
Oh man, bro. And you know what, bro? My nickname for Watson is Black Jesus, and we need a savior.
We need a savior right now because I'm telling you
right now before it
all
goes down.
You know what though? Not to knock any quarterback after motherfucking Jeff Garcia, but Jeff Garcia was a hell of a quarterback for us. But since Jeff Garcia, I fuck with Alex Smith. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got love for Cap.
Nigga, I love Kaepernick to death. You know what I mean? But since then, bro, we ain't had nobody since Steve Young or Joe Montana, though, bro.
We haven't.
Need that savior right now.
You ain't lying, bro. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Guchinni, man. Listen, man, if there's there's a lot of things I pray for in the world, good health and wealth and, world peace, shit like that. But, I'm praying we get Watson too.
I swear to you, like I said, big bro, I'm not giving up water. Watson. But if y'all want Nick Bosa, look, bro, I got 3 first rounds in Bosa right now, bro. Y'all could have him.
You had me sold on injury prone, bro, because he was like that in college too. Listen, and now he's just...
He had a fucking rib injury, something abdominal injury that he went out for
2 years.
He played 2 or 3 games, and he sat out the whole season because he's like, man, I'm finna be a first-round pick. Man, fuck all that, my nigga. Do everything. Nigga, abdominal injury, my nigga.
Oh, shit, you ain't lying. And it kind of runs in their family, too. Even Joey Bosa, he be an injured motherfucker, too.
Bruh. Look, bruh, if you want Bosa, Lynch be like, bruh, I got Bosa and however many picks you want right now, bruh. And you can have Jimmy, my nigga. That means you got a starter right now. You got a starter at quarterback. You got a high-profile-ass defensive player right now. And then you still got several first-round picks, man. Send that. And then the cold thing is they're not going to trade him in the AFC. No. I don't give a fuck what the Jets got. I don't give a fuck what the Dolphins got. Yep. Whether you're going to send Tua or Sam Darnold and 100 picks, they're not going to want to see him in the rebuild. So you can rebuild your team, and there's a chance that you see him in the AFC Championship or in the playoff. It's not going to happen. He's going to the NFC, bro.
Ooh. Dial it up.
No, seriously. And then the cold thing is The only two teams that come off my head is the football team and the Niners. That's in the NFC. I can't think. I mean, maybe Carolina. You know what I mean? But Carolina kind of like in the same boat that we got. But Carolina don't got no bona fide ass motherfucking starter that you gonna send over there. That's enticing.
That's true. And you know, I mean, unless they're like, well, Watson, he's been pretty much played his career with no running back. Let's go send CMC. You know what I mean?
Right.
Other than that, and also because the way they paying CMC, and that's the old regime that's paying him that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but you know, I like your angle there though. I you know, obviously the AFC teams that like the Dolphins, like the Jets, like they got more to offer. You know what I mean? As far as like immediately.
Yeah,
and because you know, obviously the Jags, they're in division, so they're not going to talk to the Jags. You know what I'm saying? But the Jags, they got 4 picks in the first 45.
Man, they got you can send Watson for motherfucking Trevor Lawrence and some other picks, but they're not going to do it because they're not going to want to see him.
Yeah.
And then who's to say, even though Trevor Lawrence, like McShay say, Lawrence is what Andrew Luck and what Peyton Manning was as coming out.
Yeah.
But that motherfucker ain't played one down yet, though, bro.
Yeah, it's true.
You know? I mean, I don't know. You know what I mean? I don't, especially in the division, let alone the motherfucking in the conference.
Think about this. The jury was out on Peyton Manning after that first year because he didn't play. Obviously, he set a record, 27 passing touchdowns, but he still had a shitload of picks.
He threw like 30 picks or some shit like that.
So, you know, the jury was out on him. Andrew Luck, I will say, like, maybe as far as NFL ready for Trevor Lawrence, maybe, Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning are great comparisons because obviously what Peyton Manning became. And then Andrew Luck, you knew it from the gate. That rookie year, he took them to the dance. You know what I mean? He ran into the fucking Ravens, who went on to beat us. You know what I'm saying? But but with all that, actually, I'm sorry, the rookie year. That's right. The Ravens did beat Andrew Luck his rookie year. Yeah, but still, my point is, Andrew Luck, he showed it from the gate. Maybe some could say Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow.
No, definitely. No, I like and I like Burrow too, though. Yeah. Especially how they were, and I hate to say this though, you know what I mean? A lot of motherfuckers this season was high on Mixon though, right?
Yeah.
But because Joe Burrow came in throwing 30 plus times a game,
60
motherfucking Mixon's fantasy value took a hit just based on that they had fucking Joe Burrow and they wanted Joe Burrow to go out there and go slang that bitch. Mm-hmm. And that just shows that what I can't even think of the coach name in motherfucking Cincinnati.
Zach
He's
Taylor.
A young dude and he came up under the boy in fucking LA, the Rams.
Yeah,
you know
he came up
what I
under
mean?
McVay. Zach Taylor.
Zach Taylor, oh my mama, that's his name. You know what I mean? He seen what he had. So we finna slang this bitch, you know what I mean? And Joe Burrow with T. Higgins, with motherfucking
Boyd.
With Tyler Boyd.
Even AJ Green.
I mean?
Even AJ
and then
Green.
You still got motherfucking AJ Green, shit like that, you know what I mean? Bruh, on everything. So, that's my thing is just with those type of motherfucking quarterbacks that you seeing coming out straight out of college. Because when me and you was kids, bro, nigga, quarterbacks was sitting 2 and 3 years. I mean, just with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers had 2 to 3 to 4 years, bro.
Steve Young sat behind Joe Montana for what, like 8 years?
Bro, on everything. I think coming out of the USFL.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And still had to sit.
Right.
And was ready to go.
And obviously when Montana got hurt and Joe and Steve Young came in, he was balling. It was like he was balling so hard that they moved on from the first GOAT. You know what I mean? Of that
right?
era.
No, and the cool thing is, shout out to motherfucking Stephanie Smalls, man.
Yeah.
I think the claws with the Smalls, whatever.
Yeah.
Shout out to her. But the cool thing is that's when Steve Young, when we tried to go on our three-peat, we played motherfucking the Giants at home at Candlestick, and I want to say it was Pepper Johnson or motherfucking Damn, I can't even think of the other line. It wasn't Lawrence Taylor, but it was either Pepper Johnson or the other linebacker.
When they broke his sternum
out with the helmet to the back on his motherfucking upper spinal cord, bro.
It broke his whole. They hit him in the back and it broke his sternum.
Fuck this shit up, and then Roger Craig fucking fumbles.
Oh shit.
No, 100%. We would have been the first team to the fucking three-peat. That shit hurts. No, seriously, everything. Real talk. But, that's how it be, though. So, shout out to motherfucking Giants. Shout out to Stephanie that covers the motherfucking Giants on the Run Boys on everything. You know what I mean? And the Giants, the Giants, they did their motherfucking thing. For real, though.
Yeah.
You go ahead and go beat the Buffalo in one of the Super Bowls. I can't even think who Hostetler beat his second Super Bowl. But just for them to come in the Candlestick and motherfucking wipe us out of history as being the first team.
It was Belichick, bruh. It was Belichick.
As the defensive coordinator, you damn right.
Yeah.
He was there in the 80s.
Yep.
Everything. That's fucking crazy, bro.
That's crazy,
bro. Dude. You throwing it back on a nigga right now, bruh.
And you know what's crazy is I was just actually touching on that a little bit with Justin, where man, I don't remember the Joe Montana days as much as I remember the Steve Young days, because obviously because I was younger, but going one of my cousins in particular, shout out to my cousin Ryan. He's
shout out Ryan, man.
He's a fucking a historian motherfucker, and we used to watch the old school tapes, and because he's like a year younger than you. So he remembers that, that 1990s game. He remembers, Lawrence Taylor for real. I remember Lawrence Taylor as a wrestler, going to wrestle Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't remember.
With the dangling earring.
Yes, with the chandelier things. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? But it's just you got to know your history. You know what I mean? And we're one of the greatest teams ever. But, we've been on this quest for six forever, bro.
For a long time. And the cold thing is, big bro, I remember watching Arizona versus Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
Arizona has been in the division for a long time.
Yeah, it's what, 2010?
I was going for Arizona, Fitzgerald and Kurt Warner.
Yep.
When they played the Steelers, because I didn't want the Steelers to be the first team to six, bro.
Yeah,
We've
real,
been on
dog.
a quest for six
Forever.
since 1994, bro.
You ain't lying, bro.
Oh, everything. That has been our motto since we played the motherfucking the Ravens, since we came back the following year and lost to the motherfucking Seahawks. You know what I mean? Since we lost to the motherfucking Atlanta Falcons, the Garrison Hurst era. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I swear to you, bro.
Bro, what's crazy is Jim Harbaugh. When I look back in hindsight, if people to ask me how do I feel about the Jim Harbaugh era, I'd be like, he brought us the first heartaches, because we were a team that never lost the Super Bowl. When we were marching down there in that last drive against the Ravens, and I was like, all right, this is what we do. Here it is. You know what I mean? We don't lose Super Bowls. We're the Niners. You know what I mean? We show up and we win. And what's crazy is that the Ravens, they're one of the only teams. Now I think it's the Ravens and the Giants. They're the only teams that exist that when they got there, they didn't lose. You know what I mean? Because we had that. What's happening? Did we lose them?
Oh, no, I definitely agree on that, though, big bro. The Jim Harbaugh era, the 3 years with fucking Roman, bro, 2 years with Roman and Kaepernick, and when fucking Alex Smith went out, though, big bro, we were fucking dominant, my nigga.
Yeah.
And just look at the defense that we had, though, big bro.
Yeah.
Not along with the offense, what the defense was able to accomplish, though, bro.
Yeah.
You had Dante Hittner.
Yep.
You had motherfucking
Golston.
Come on, man.
Deshaun Golston. Willis, Bowman,
bruh.
Justin Smith, Alden Smith. Bro. It was nasty. And you know what was crazy is that it made up for our trash, Carlos Rodgers and Chris Culliver, because they weren't great at all. You know what I mean? Those guys weren't that great at all.
Right.
But they were active as fuck, because what I'm saying, we had that type of front that's going to give you all these disruptive
Smith
passes.
Brothers, Justin and Alda.
Yeah, Justin Smith.
Cowboy.
Bro, shout out to the Cowboy, bro. Just destroying that interior line, just collapsing the interior line, and Alden Smith just coming off the edge. Like that. Fucking Ahmad Brooks, bro. Like
Ahmad fucking Brooks, bro. On top of Bowman. And fucking Willis and Aldon on the other side. I swear to you, Ray McDonald with his wife beating ass mother. You know what I mean? You know, man. Shout out to him, man. Hopefully he got his motherfucking.
Yeah, hopefully he got his shit straight. You know what I mean? But I will say this too. You know what I'm saying? One of my boys, man. I used to make music with him. Shout out to my boy Roman. He's a diehard Niner fan. I remember I live by this saying, it only gets better. I've been living by that shit forever. You know what I mean? I remember when we lost to the Seahawks in the NFC Championship, we were burning up. And I was like, bro, man, don't even trip, bro. It only gets better. And he's like, no. He was like, this is the first time I'm going to disagree with you. He was like, our defense is about to fall apart. And we had it right together, this team, and it's never going to look the same for a while. And he was right.
Right.
He was right because Golston goes on to the Redskins. You know what I'm saying? Willis, just continued to get hurt, year after year.
His fucking feet. Oh, my mama.
Bowman never came
tore
back.
His fucking ACL in that game, which they called the next play a fucking touchdown, which that should have been our ball where he tore his ACL at. Like I said, Kaepernick fucking single-handedly won that game. You know what I mean? And the year before that, when we went to the Super Bowl, look what Kaepernick did against Aaron Rodgers. He did it to him twice in the fucking playoffs, bro.
And you know what's crazy?
Once at home, once on the road.
Yep. And Aaron Rodgers was crazy. He's like, he was the guy wearing the long johns that game. Kaepernick and them, they was out there, just short sleeves. You feel me?
Yeah. And then even before that, though, when we lost to the fucking this fucking hurts. When we lost to the Giants in the motherfucking
the NFC
Championship, we go to New England with Kaepernick. We go into New England in December, bro.
Yeah.
And single-handedly take a paddle and give it to they motherfucking ass, bro.
Remember that? It was like the first possession. I remember we hit a big one to Randy Moss.
A big one.
And it was like, oh, this is how that game is.
It was a wrap.
Yeah, I was like, this game is ours. It was like,
bro, that was during Christmas time. I remember it just like yesterday. I'm Christmas shopping for my family, bro. And I'm checking the phone to see what we doing against New England. Yeah. And this boy Kaepernick is going ahead and giving it to they motherfucking ass, bro. I don't even know how we won that game, bro. On everything.
I mean, shit, bro. Like, and it was snowing too. Like, it was
snowing.
Bro, like, here's the thing, man, is going back to Roman, we seen how Greg Roman's system flourishes when he has that mobile QB. When we seen it with Lamar Jackson. But also one thing about Roman's system is he doesn't get to changing things up too much. So the next year you get figured out.
We had fucking Randy Moss, Mario Manningham. Mm-hmm. Who else the fuck did we have? We had fucking Lloyd. We had Vernon Davis, who was coming off a career year against when we beat the Saints that one year, bro.
The catch three.
The catch part 3 or the catch part 2. We had weapons, but yet we wasn't a passing team, though.
No, we weren't. We were winning 13-10.
Anthony Dixon, all downhill.
And motherfucking we won most of the games, like you said, running the ball and playing good defense and just kicking these field goals, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we were winning a ton of games, 16-10, 13-7. Like, it was just, you know what I mean? Like, betting the under. I remember just always just pound the under. And then when Alex Smith goes down, here comes Greg Roman. Like, well, shit, I got this whole other ass playbook that we could open up, and you know what I mean? And then I remember it was that Monday nighter against the Chicago Bears, bro. Like, we killed them with the pistol. You know what I mean? And then
it was a wrap.
It was a wrap, and we had that magical run. And then we got to Baltimore in the Super Bowl. We playing Baltimore, and it took them, basically 3 quarters to stop Cap on the ground. Like, he was still able to run. Obviously, we were playing from behind, and then of course, allegedly, I was in the building. I pulled the plug.
You turned the lights off, big bro.
It was me. You know what I'm saying? Like, to give our guys, some time to reiterate this thing. But also, on the flip side, that 33 minutes where the lights was out, so did that defense. The Baltimore defense got time to be like, all right, what are we gonna do here? And then that wasn't even enough because we came back storming and like, this is why I say Harbaugh gave us all that heartache because you got down there, we got 4 downs to try to get this thing in the end zone, and they're not gonna call.
You didn't run it not one time,
not
bro.
Run it one time, bro. Not one time.
You didn't run it not one time, bro. And the way you got down there is you ran the
fucking
ball.
Yeah. But you know
that
what?
Shit hurts, bro. I swear to you.
I hate to leave to cut the show off like this now. I'm like, it does hurt, but you know what?
That shit hurts.
Hey, it only gets better, my brother.
It only gets better, and the grit don't quit.
The grit don't quit.
100% though, bro. It only gets better,
really
and the fucking grit don't quit because we pushing this motherfucking boulder
all the way uphill, my brother.
100%. And just like I want to say before I exit out this motherfucker, shout out to you for tapping in to what the Heart2Start boys is doing because you the first nigga that tapped in. You know what I mean? And putting this on your platform, allowing the Playmakers to hear what the fuck we got saying going on, bruh.
Hey, man.
100%, my nigga, on my mama. And you know, like I said before, if I can't get on, if Kev can't get on, or if Kirk, one of us is going to be able to get on whenever y'all call, bruh.
Oh, yeah.
Whether it be for the Playmakers, whether it be for after dark, whatever it may be, though, bro. That's just how we fucking doing it, though, bro. Because y'all is the ones that tapped in with us, bro. On my mama, and we are truly grateful for that shit, though, big bro.
Man,
I swear to you, my nigga.
I'm, you know, man. The pleasure is all mine. I really appreciate all that you said, man. I really appreciate that from the bottom of my heart. But I will say, man, y'all make it easy, man, because y'all is great at what y'all do. And you know what I mean? Like I like to believe I'm a reflection of who I surround myself with. So that's why I try to rock with, the motherfuckers that I appreciate. Definitely appreciate you coming on the show, man. This one was an instant classic. I love that we got, part of the show. We got to like the end of this show. That has a lot of shelf life. You know what I mean? Obviously with the games that we talked about this weekend, but my point is, what I'm saying, every things that we do, they got longevity value. You know what I mean? Just like our relationship in the industry that I feel like that has surpassed just being, we're business, what is it called? A business relationship. Like, I really rock with y'all. You know what I mean?
Fully fucking reciprocated.
You know
That's the thing, though, bruh. And we can't wait to get you into that motherfucking Heart2Start studio to where we can, like I'm on a hiatus of the 420 friendly, but yet, you know what I mean? To have you in there breaking down the motherfucking 420. Putting it into whatever you put it in, whether it be the backwood, whether it be the swisher, whether it be the bone, and then having the fucking Tito's and the, you know what I mean, shit like that, to where we really breaking bread face to face. We can't wait to have that. Or if you want to have us at your motherfucking studio, bro, whatever it may be.
Hey, Brad.
Just us doing what we doing right now is all love, but yet with us being in hands reach. Of being able to reach out and be able to be like, oh, okay, woo.
Yeah, because
you know what I mean? Just like how you got my number, my nigga, and you got Kev number, you got Kurt number, the whole shit. Even with rap, the same shit, bro. We can't wait for that shit. It's nothing but love, though, bro. That's the thing,
you
bro.
ain't lying, man. It's all love, man. And it is dope that y'all's in Northern Cali, man, because then that shit is gonna happen.
That's like, another day.
It was gonna happen that Thanksgiving week. You know what I'm saying? But my family, we all collectively like canceled Thanksgiving because normally we would go out there to my sisters and we'd be out there for for like 4 days. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I'm about to rock with Heart starting them. This for sure. You know what I mean? And like when that happened, I was like, I remember my girl was like, she was like, well, because even my girl, and before everyone collectively was like, all right, well, she just shut it down. My girl was like, do you really still want to go out there? I was like, hell yeah. You know what I mean?
Right.
I got, because also one of my best friends, he stayed out there. I was like, listen, I'm about, we go every year. You know what I'm saying? And so I can see my family and my boy. But now it's like I got to get out there so I can rock with Heart2Start.
They got to pull up to the
I got
motherfucking
to.
studio.
You know what I'm saying? We'll order a pizza from Luigi's.
From Luigi, don't do it like that.
You feel me? But hey, Guchinni JD, man, that's in the cards, bro. That's in the near future.
Man, that's definitely in the cards, though, big bro. And that's the thing, though. Like I said, man, it ain't nothing but gratitude towards you, because you the first person, once we got this shit popping, you was the one that reached out your motherfucking hand and pulled us in. You know what I mean? Like, here, you put this on your motherfucking platform because you felt like these dudes is talking that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bro,
they're talking that shit that I understand.
You know what
like,
I mean? Just the circle that we in right now, you the one that brought us into the circle, big bro. Just based on because you rocking what the fuck we doing and you believe in the same shit that we doing. And the cold thing is we reciprocate that same fucking feeling because you talk that shit that we talk, bro. That's the thing, though, bro.
and you know what, man? It's it really is really awesome, bro. Like the motherfucking universe, man. Like I feel like the universe brought us together for a reason. That's why I'm able to call you like yesterday. Like I'm able to tap in. Like, yo, what you doing tomorrow? Like, you know what I mean? I want to bring you on to the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like man, y'all like y'all is playmakers. Like, y'all damn near. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't even look at a label no more, like or anything like that. Our community, we just all rock. You know what I mean? Like, and I you know, obviously there, you know, in this past year, you know what I'm saying, we get to learn who really do rock with us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? And like I like that we're all, man, the grassroots aspect of it is key to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like we're all coming up together. You know what I mean?
100%. That's my thing. And everybody is accessible. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, like the number that I done had, the number that we speaking on, I done had that for 16 years, big bro. 100%. You know what I mean? I'm fully accessible to anybody that wants to fuck with me. You know what I mean? Even though, like, me, myself, I got, you know, I'm trying to build my shit outside of what we got going on this fantasy industry. But if anybody fucking calls me, you know what I mean, or want to get in contact with Kev, or want to get in contact with Kurt, that's the whole Heart2Start brand, bruh. Yeah. If it's not me, it's going to be one of them, 100%. And I said that from the first day that we done got in contact, my nigga, on my mama. And
I remember.
And I'm trying to make myself more accessible to where I can do more shit in this motherfucking community.
I will say this, though.
You know, and it's fucked up, though, because, you know, I might disappear for just a tad bit because I got some other shit going on outside of this shit.
Hey, man,
please believe me, my nigga, I'm definitely accessible if a motherfucker just gives me 1 or 2 days. That's all I need, bro, for my end.
Yeah. And think about this, my brother. Even if your appearances on whatever platform it may be, even if they do become limited, the quality is always there. You know what I mean? Like your quality over quantity in that sense. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what the Heart2Start brand is. And that's dope. Like when you see Kev, like, you know, he carrying the torch for the basketball right now, so it keeps the content going. You know, and it for me too. It's the authenticity of Heart2Start. That's what if I was to describe in one word, it would be authentic because you know what I'm saying, it's motherfuckers that really, you could tell motherfuckers is enjoying what they doing. You know what I mean? Like
100%, Brandon. The cool thing is like when we was all together at one time, it's like, I don't know who said it, but it was like somebody was like, bro, when a whole bunch of players get together in one room, they could chop it up again with anything, bro. Yeah. So once a motherfucker say, oh, woo, we mean at this one point in time, it don't matter what the subject is, man. We gonna break it down and we gonna chop it up. Whether it be, damn, I forgot the pizza episode.
Shout out to my dog, Jimmo. Shout out to Jimmo.
100%. Shout out to Brian.
Boston Brian.
Man, look, bro. When we talked about pizza, my nigga, we carried that for a long time. That just shows what players do, bro.
Yeah. I mean, listen, bro. If we're talking about pizza, be like, oh, you know what? We all just trying to get our piece of the pie. You feel me?
Yeah, we trying to get a piece of the pie and dip it in some ranch.
You feel me?
From round table, big bro.
You ain't lying, Brody.
But that's my point, though, bro. Oh, my mama, look. Anytime, whenever you call me, big bro, it's always good, bro. I swear to you, bro.
Man, I appreciate you, bro.
I swear to you, even though
you know, Bogart,
doing what he be doing, when I leave my house at like 5:30 in the morning, big bro. I don't get here till about 5:30 at night, at 6 p.m. at night. But look, as long as I got 1 or 2 days ahead, nigga, I'm there, bro. I swear to you, bro. That's all I need is,
man, I appreciate
at the most is 2 days. But nigga, at one day, I'm gonna make it happen on everything.
You know what's crazy is that's the first thing you said to me too when we were scheduling the very first appearance. You're like, I was like, well, when y'all good? And you were like, pretty much just as long as you give me 2 days in notice.
That's all a nigga need, bro. Let a nigga, and that's the thing, bro. And the cold thing is, for you to reach out and have, whether it be me or us collectively or us individually, that fucking speaks volumes, big bro, because a nigga's tapped in and the shit is fully reciprocated because we tapped in too, though, bro, about what you doing, though, big bro, 100%, man.
Hey, motherfuckers is great, man, because what it is too, man, is like, even with my background in in music and shit, like, I always felt like I know when a motherfucker is dope, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I hear this shit and I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker, that motherfucker got it. You know what I mean? And that's just how I felt with the Heart2Start. You know what I mean? I'm like,
you told us you was a talent scout though.
Yeah.
Everything.
Hey, that's funny because I do.
Coach Calipari around this motherfucker.
I always feel like I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm a great scout. You ain't lying. That was my shit in the offseason.
Everything.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? We out here, bro.
We out here, bro.
We just trying to
full-fledged, bro.
We great for the culture, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
real talk. That's what it is,
the game
bro.
Needs
you know what I mean? It ain't too many of us that's doing what we doing that represent where we come from.
Yeah.
But just doing this shit though, bro. You know what I mean? And that's what it is though, big bro. 100%, man.
Yeah. Well, shit. Guchinni JD. Playmakers, y'all know where to find them. At the Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have the links to all their social medias and the YouTube link. You know what I'm saying? In the description of this episode. Also, you know what I'm saying? The Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast. You know what I'm saying? They also cover basketball as well. It's not just football. And you also find their joint on iTunes and other streaming platforms as well. Guchinni JD, man, it was a pleasure, bruh.
Man, it's a fucking pleasure, man. And shout out to all the playmakers for having us on here, man. Shout out to Bogart Scott Free, man. 100% for recognizing what the real is, real recognize real, man, and throwing us that alley-oop, bruh. And you know what I mean? That's what it is, bruh. Man, I can't say no more, bro. Shout out to you and all the playmakers. Shout out to the Guru too, cause I'm in the fucking
you're in the basketball
league with the Guru too, man, on everything. So shout out to the Guru, man.
Hey, shout out, big up to the Guru. Hey, it's funny cause I talk to him all the time, and he was like, man, he's like, man, that league is fun, bro, cause he always played basketball leagues, but like. He can't find motherfuckers out here that get down like that. So, like, he would be on, like, them random Yahoo leagues, you know what I mean? Or the random, like, online leagues. So, he was like, this is dope because he got the interaction going. He was like, motherfuckers is talking shit in the thread. I'm like, man, that's dope.
My mama.
And I told him, too, I was like, man, you representing the GMM, so, that makes me feel good because I know listen, my girl, she'll never sign my permission slip to play no fantasy basketball because she was like.
And that's the cold thing. So we got We got a representative from the Bear Brews and the Bros, which is Renegade.
Yeah, Renegade in there.
You know what I mean? We got a representative from the GMM, which is motherfucking Guru. Then we got Heart2Start Kev, which is running it with motherfucking Renegade. And you know me, I just I jumped in this shit because I'm a fan of basketball, but I ain't been into basketball in a long time. But just for those three platforms that I just named collectively to come outside of football, which we all met in football, to go ahead and put some content out on the motherfucking basketball.
Hey, that's real. I even told Goo, I was like, man, holler at Kev. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, he putting out the fantasy basketball content. You know what I mean? Like, because quick story real quick. You know what I'm saying? It's funny because this is like classic Bogart shit. Like, I always like would be like, all right, we're about to close up, and I just curve it for another 10 minutes because I don't care. This is my, I'll do what I want. You know what I mean? The Playmakers.
On top.
Yeah, right? Because this is a cool story right here. It's like, bro, when I first started this shit, obviously I hit the Goo up and I was like, listen, we're about to do this. He's like, all right, I'm with it. And when we finally got it going, I was like, you're going to be the basketball guy, bruh. And I was like, we got to put content. Like, because, even one of my other guys, he dabbles in the UFC. So we it's funny because I did a couple UFC episodes with him this year. And then he kind of fell off. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because, I'm like, listen, you're the UFC guy. You got to be on this thing. I'll co-host it. And I told the same thing to the Goo. I said, listen, this will be your show. It's basketball. I'll be on it. You know what I mean? If or until we find somebody that like really got the isms, because like the football is my shit. Like football, it's year round too as far as content. You know what I mean?
100%, bro. Starting in fucking February after fucking Super Bowl ends.
You feel me? Like it's what I mean? Like it ain't gonna stop. But I told Goo, I was like, you know what, man? Like you gotta be if you could be the basketball guy. You know what I mean? Because motherfucker, there's a market out there. You know what I mean? Because it is kind of crazy. Like. Fantasy basketball is still third to like baseball, and then and it's third to football and baseball.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, like as far as like the popularity goes, you know what I'm saying. But like we seen a spike this year with fantasy basketball probably because of the COVID shit. Motherfuckers is like, you know what, let's go ahead and try this basketball thing. You know what I mean? But man, shout out to Kev, man, because Kev, he tried to invite me early on too, and I told him, I was like, listen, man, my girl's not gonna sign my permission slip because she's gonna be like, you're gonna be all, because she already knows.
The thing is, I remember you when we first tapped in, you said Saturdays is your off days for you to go do your thing, right?
Yeah.
Just based on how the fantasy football season go.
Yeah, exactly.
So my off days is Sundays, just based on I got my 9 to 5. And I run my side hustle. My side hustle is mainly on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
But Sunday is my off day, right? And the day that they shoot the podcast for the hoop is on fucking Sunday. So, nigga, but I'm not well versed on the hoop right now. I'm in the league and the whole shit, but yet, growing up, I was a hoop nigga, in my teenage days and shit like that. But as of right now, nigga, hoop is obsolete. Because it's still football.
Yeah.
The hoop don't come in until March, April, May, June when it's playoff time for the hoop. Other than that, I don't give a fuck about no basketball.
And I ain't gonna lie, I don't like stepping into arenas unless I'm like, like I don't want to be the purple belt and all the motherfuckers is black belts in this
motherfucker. All black belts.
You know what I'm saying? Like I gotta step into the arena. Like, you know what I mean? Like maybe if low key I was doing fantasy basketball leagues with people I don't know, try to get, so when I come in for the first time, I'm like, yeah, this is my first time, but I got a little bit of ground underneath my feet. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, listen, I ain't never played fantasy basketball. I'm just not gonna start. You know what I mean? Like
facts.
I'm just like, because I already know how I get too. And there's a ton of games. Like I'm a motherfucker. Like I spend my Monday mornings. I get the kids ready for school. And before it used to be easier because then they'd be at school, and then I watch all the games, bro. Like I watch all the condensed games so I can see what the numbers is showing me on film. Because
it's big.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But it's like if with basketball, there's games all throughout the week.
Man, every motherfucking day of the week.
So I'm like, bro, I'm like, dog, like, and I make that joke about my girl signing my permission slip, but I know, because if she I'll be like, hey babe, I'm doing fantasy basketball now. She'll be like, all right, I'm never gonna see you. You know what I mean?
Never. Trust me, I know, bro.
You know what I mean?
Every day. Tell me about it.
Like I fully engulf myself. You know what I'm saying? Like whatever.
Every day. So shout out to Renegade. Shout out to the Guru, man. Shout out to motherfucking Kev, motherfucking ass. You niggas is doing your motherfucking thing. Me and you need to line up Renegade and the Goo on top of Kev so we can get some online content with them three on it and some other panelists to drop some shit, bro.
That's real. You know what I'm saying?
Everything.
That you know what, bro? That ain't nothing but a phone call away, huh? That shit can happen.
That's big.
That shit can happen.
We need to
shout out to the bros.
Where, all whether it be the GMM, whether it be the Heart2Start, whether it be the Brews and the Bros, but just the video content can be on all three platforms to show that this shit don't stop. Whether it be basketball, football, baseball, motherfucking ping pong, whatever the fucking
motherfucking XFL.
You got some type of input. Man, we got content on all three channels.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Hey, it's that trifecta right there, bro. Like we got some we our community, bro. We strong, bro.
It's strong, bro. It shows every fucking day, though, bro. I swear to you. And that's just my thing. Like, where a nigga can't be, especially because I got this new shit that I going on my 9 to 5. But when I see my shit go off on the gram, bro, and see how many motherfuckers is interactive in that one chat that we got, The Future Goes, bro.
Yep.
It gets bigger by the fucking day, bro. I swear to you. You know what I mean? And just to go back 6 months ago, 7 months ago for our platform, it was just us by ourselves. But to see it grow from 7 to 8 months ago to here we are now in the first month of fucking 2021, to be tapped in with every fucking platform there is, bro. Man, come on, it don't get no better, and it's growing every day.
Yep, and it only gets better, too. That's what's crazy about it, bro. It only
gets better, bro.
Only gets better, bro.
Oh, mama, bro.
Hey, man. This is the one thing I'm going to say, and then we will close this thing up, man. It's also just this the positive energy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, man, that shit really go a long way. You know what I mean? I really tap in with y'all because, it's a similar background, you know what I'm saying? We motherfuckers that came from some other shit. And like, you know what I mean? Like it's just dope because if we could one day say like, yo, we really getting it and off this podcast shit, and you know what I mean? Like, and we ain't doing nothing illegitimate, or you know what I mean? Like, and it's really just shit that we enjoy. Like it wouldn't be fair, bro. Like it's, you know what I mean? Like that's what's so dope about it is that like, if and when we get this shit really popping, it's some shit that we really enjoy, and it's really, I mean, some shit that we already did and would do for free. You know what I mean?
For free, bro, and that's the thing, though, bro. Like you said, once it get to whatever it may take, the cold thing is that niggas is doing it out of the sport, out of the love for the sport.